55 Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Now broadcasting live from the DNC at the United Center in downtown Chicago. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Good afternoon.
There's so many amazing singers that are taking the stage. Patti LaBelle was just up there belting it out. She even got a round of applause. Common, the rapper, just performed for us.
Yeah, he did. Common was there just a second ago, bringing the energy, bringing the heat. We're inside the United Center.
And he's from Chicago, Common.
He is. All right, let's get to what we're tracking today from the United Center.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
The first item is the Democratic National Convention welcome. We are here broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention. We're here today. We're here tomorrow. We are here Thursday as well. This place is all decked out. If you've been here for a Bulls game or a Blackhawks game, it looks completely different. Julia, the transformation, much like they did at Fiserv Forum, is just absolutely remarkable. The red, white, and blue, the banner boards are all DNC 2024 colors. It's absolutely incredible. One of the things that strikes me as we look down into the bowl, how few delegates are on the floor. At Fiserv Forum, they were almost all on the floor. I think they all were on the floor, as a matter of fact. Here, many of the delegations are in the stands.
Oh my gosh, so Florida was right front and center for the trip.
Right.
Where are they?
They're in the back. Florida and Indiana are as far away from the stage as you can get. There's actually media risers, and there's light stanchions, and there's all sorts of stuff. They are in the stands. Like if you're at one basketball hoop, they would be back behind the other hoop way far away. They can't even see the stage from where they are.
No, what a stark difference. And Wisconsin they have a different setup because they have so many more delegates. They have a good spot. They have
a good spot.
Yeah.
Look, as a matter of fact, they're one of the only delegations that has white sheets on every single seat. Can you see that?
Yes, they're not on the floor, but they are on, if you're looking at the stage, they're on the right side.
They're as close to the stage as you can get without being on the floor. There's only a couple delegations that are actually right on the floor. Hey, the second thing, walking in today, I parked 1.3 miles away in a parking garage.
Oh my.
It was an easy walk, so I came in and I got into here. And one of the cool things was, as I was walking in, I walked past Whitney Young Magnet High School. What's cool about that? That's where Michelle Obama went to school.
Oh.
And it's right here near the United Center. And they have a big sign up front that says, "We're proud of our alum, Michelle Obama," and it's right on the way here to the United Center. It's just kind of a cool little observation I didn't expect as I was walking through a random neighborhood.
That's really cool. Yeah, and she's going to be speaking tonight.
Yes, tonight's her night.
Yeah. Common is trying to rehearse once again, so that's pretty cool if you hear that in the background. Okay, here's number 3. I think this is really interesting. I was on the ground on the floor, and the Harris campaign leaders were telling me they're pretty much touting several Republican leaders, John, who will be on the list of speakers tonight, though the exact timing of the remarks was not immediately clear. So this includes former Trump White House staffer Olivia Troy, who once worked as the Homeland Security and counterterrorism advisor to President Mike Pence, also served on the White House Coronavirus Task Force as Pence's lead staffer, and she resigned in August of 2020. And Stephanie Grisham, she was a White House secretary and chief of staff for First Lady Melania Trump.
I remember that.
Okay, so I just got my hands
on
an early look at the speech. I have the full speech in front of me, but it's embargoed. But I can I can talk a little bit about what she's going to say. She's going to talk about how she was really close to the Trump family. Like, they spent Easter, Thanksgiving together, Christmas. That's how close she was to the Trump family and really believed in him. And she said behind closed doors, it became a lot different once he became president. There's one thing that she will say is that she says this, that Trump called his supporters basement dwellers.
Oh, and those were his supporters he was talking about.
There was also, I can't go further into it because it's embargoed, but when she was talking about Melania, there's something that happened during January 6th that was kind of eye-opening to her. And also Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan.
Great info. So that's Republicans that are going to be speaking here at the DNC.
Former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia.
Hey, Charles Benson, TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter, has joined us here live at our radio seats. He'll be with us after the break on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's Eric Vilstead here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
In-house plumbers that can handle the tough questions without a callback. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. They're the real deal. They do the plumbing in my house. Fantastic. I've got their water softener. I've got an RO system. What that means is the water coming into our house is crisp, clean, clear all day long. What we cook with, what we hydrate with, what we give the dogs is the best water possible. It's Guthrie and Fry. They know that better water makes a big difference. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust all day long. GuthrieFryWater.com. Fixed rental rates. They deliver the salt to the basement. It's great solutions all the time. It's Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice. It's Guthrie and Fry.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing, too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's Heiser's end of summer sizzling savings event, and these deals are hot. Save big on sleek sedans, powerful SUVs, and rugged trucks. Perfect for epic weekend getaways, road trips, or just cruising around town. Customers are our top priority. We're all about giving you the best car buying experience ever. And with our exclusive Safe and Sound program, have peace of mind for the whole family. So what are you waiting for? Stop in or shop online today. At Heiser, today's your day.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and weather. Let's get out to Debbie Loziga. How's that ride rolling, Deb?
Well, it's a little bit slow. We've got southbound on 41 backing up from just about Good Hope Road, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43 backing up right around North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for a little bit of a backup right through the Stadium interchange. We did have a disabled vehicle at 25th Street that looks like just got cleared out of the way. Still some delays out of the Marquette to that point. Eastbound 94 tightens up right past Highway 16. There's some construction going on through there, so still kind of throwing folks for a loop. We've got westbound 894 a bit backed up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Loomis through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 48 inland, a little warmer along the lake. Tomorrow, beautiful day, a high of 75 degrees and sunny. On Thursday, high of 78 and sunny. Friday, 78 and the clouds roll in. On Saturday, back to more sunshine with a high of 84 degrees. We are joined here live in the United Center at the Democratic National Convention by our friend Charles Benson. He's the senior national reporter for Scripps News and the chief political reporter for TMJ4. Thank you so much for being here, Charles.
Yes. Great to be here, and I can tell you that if anyone ever tells you men cannot follow directions, I will tell you that's wrong. I saw all the directions on how to get to this remote location.
So Julia put signs that we are in the United Center, and we have better signage than CNN, Fox News, everybody. Julia put beautiful signs up everywhere.
Thank you. It's the reason why I'm here on time.
I put it on every level at like every 5 feet. And
yes. It worked.
Probably Secret
It's
Service
remarkable.
wasn't okay with it.
Yeah.
And it has like actual red arrows and everything, and our
It
logo.
got Charles here.
It
I
did.
get lost on a racetrack, so thank you.
Hey, we are here in Chicago, but
Yes.
we wanted to talk to you about what's happening in Milwaukee because this is really remarkable. 90 miles down the road, Kamala Harris will speak an hour before primetime TV coverage of the convention, and then she's going to stay in Milwaukee and watch the convention. Charles, have you ever seen anything quite like this?
Well, no, not in battleground Wisconsin. I've pretty much seen a lot, right? To have these split-screen moments where you have, all the things that are happening on the convention floor here, and then to have this high-profile moment in Wisconsin inside another arena, which happened to be where the Republicans had gathered just a few weeks ago. So, I've talked to a lot of people that I saw David Axelrod. I mean, this is, people walk around. I think I told you guys this the other day. So you see all these other, people who are just political commentators. Look, Wisconsin, by true definition, is a battleground state, and this just reinforces all of that. But, tonight, we're going to hear from a speaker, former President Barack Obama. Wisconsin was not a battleground state. I just went back and looked at the numbers. I mean, he crushed it in Wisconsin, not only in 08, 12, a little closer than 08. But when you look at Wisconsin now, you see a lot of red counties, even though it can go blue. In Obama's era, Wisconsin looked a lot more blue than it does today throughout those rural counties.
I thought that Kamala would be speaking earlier in the day. This is her time to shine. This is her moment. She's speaking at 8 o'clock, Charles?
8 o'clock in Milwaukee?
Is there? Yeah.
Wow.
Had you heard that?
No. So I was going to see the timing.
So is that a danger? Is there a threat that, she's already going to own the night because of what happens in Chicago. Yeah. Now she's going to speak at, I think it's 8 o'clock.
Well, so that would surprise me because you don't want to step on other messages. I mean, there's a lot of big moments that happen here on the convention floor, but clearly the big night is not only the former president, but also Kamala Harris's husband, I think, is the last speaker here. We know him as the second gentleman and is supposed to speak here as well, Doug Emhoff.
Yeah, I was just weirded out by that, but and also it went so late last night.
Yes, it did.
When the president, the current president Joe Biden, he was supposed to be in prime time. They missed that window. So I just learned that from the people on the floor, the Harris campaign was saying that they're going to be starting the main big speakers at 5:30 instead of 6.
A little sooner. Yeah, because I did miss James Taylor last night.
Yeah, he got cut. He didn't make the cut. We saw him rehearse, and he didn't make the cut. So, can you believe that?
I did see Patti LaBelle on the stage.
And she was bringing it.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, and rocking it, and the fans aren't even here yet. So,
what'd you think of the Biden speech?
So I thought it really was, that moment where he could sort of define his legacy, what he's done. But the line that stands out to me the most is, I love my job, but I love my country more. And it speaks to what he did here in the last few weeks. I think history will be debating that decision, who was behind it, how it all happened, but it happened. And what is really sort of interesting to me is, conventions are about uniting, unifying. They really have moved past this moment where 4 weeks ago there was a lot of anxiety around, is he staying in, is he dropping out, is he up for the next term? So I think he not only laid out what he thought he's accomplished, not only laid out why he thinks Kamala Harris should be the next president, but I think he also defined that moment of his public service, his time in office. This wasn't the farewell speech. You're still going to hear from him, but it may be his last biggest moment because on this type of stage, everything is transitioning toward her as it normally would. She is the nominee, and it's all the focus now is on Harris and Walz.
I mean, wouldn't you think that he would have been talking a little bit more about when they were doing the Russian swap, and Kamala was right there in the Situation Room, and other things are going on, and Kamala was right by my side. Do you think that maybe they were making sure he wouldn't have that wording because once she finally talks to the press, they won't have to ask her the question of how you were. He was saying that you were right there.
I think you're going to see.
He was competent.
I think you're going to see when he gets out on the campaign trail, maybe making more of those connections about how they worked as a team. I think he said that was the best decision he ever made.
That was a good
picking
one.
her.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But he's a former VP. He was there for 8 years. He knows what that role can be like in terms of always in the shadow of the president. And so, those are those good history questions down the road. How close was the relationship? Based on what I've been able to observe, it looked like a working, close relationship.
And to your point, I thought that was an effective line when he said, some of our greatest presidents have once been vice president.
Yes, right.
And he got a big laugh, and it was kind of self-deprecating.
I was just expecting a little more tears, more emotion.
Me too.
I mean,
it was a lot of policy. It was more policy. I talked to a delegate earlier today who said they were geared up to cry and bring out the tissues. And once Ashley Biden did her thing and Jill did hers, it was policy with Joe Biden, and it wasn't a lot of let's hug each other and.
Yeah, they brought out the "We Love Joe" signs. This is pretty fascinating what happens at conventions. You're looking on the floor, and then all these volunteers come in with these big poles that have "We Love Joe" on them. And it just changes the complexion. Hey, listen, tonight, big night for Jason Ray. He is the Democratic the DNC secretary from Milwaukee, grew up in Rice Lake. He does the roll call. So this
That's
is
cool.
Calling all the states.
That's
and
cool.
I got something to watch for you tonight. You know how baseball players have their walk-on songs?
Yes.
Each state's going to have a.
Oh, that's fun.
So you
heard it here first. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is ours good?
Based on what he hinted at, he didn't deliver it. But
roll out the barrel?
No, that'd be good, maybe. I just want to bang the drum all day. Heck or something. Charles Benson is Senior National Political Reporter for Scripps News and the Chief Political Reporter for TMJ4. Charles, it's always great. We appreciate you being with us the next couple of days.
The Bears Still Suck song.
Oh, I vote for that, too.
Wouldn't go over well here.
It is 3:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red today. The S&P was down to 11 points. The Dow was even, actually. So not down. And the NASDAQ was off 59 points. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
With the days turning cooler, you'd think there's no time left to enjoy your backyard. Hi all, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings, and I think you're still in good shape to enjoy the outdoors, especially if you get a custom-made retractable awning from your awnings and screenings experts, Comfort Awnings in Burlington. Local and family owned, they service all of southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. These awnings and screens are gorgeous, and they don't just show up with the selection you make online. Well, they could, but wouldn't you like to see the fabric and color for yourself? Well, they've got a huge selection to choose from, and they make sure it matches your house like it was always there. You've got the yard. Why not enjoy it, even into the fall? And right now, until the end of this month, you can get $200 off any awning or screen. Give them a call at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford on Highway 100. I've got news that could save you a lot of money. Right now, until the end of the month, Hiller Ford is offering 0.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex buy rebate on brand new 2024 Ford F-150s. Add that to Hiller's deeply discounted prices, and that makes for a great time to buy from Hiller Ford. Stop in today and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life. And that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Hi, everybody. This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. Have you been wanting to get a new vehicle but waiting for just the right deal? Well, that just the right deal is at Hiller Ford today. Hiller is offering 0.9% 66-month financing, plus a $2,000 factory flex buy rebate on brand new 2024 Ford Explorers. Top that off with Hiller's already deeply discounted prices, and that's a great deal. Stop in today and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Quick question. How are you feeling in 2024? You're not alone if you're feeling stressed about your investment and retirement planning. There's inflation, market volatility, global unrest, and a presidential election that's going to have a huge impact on many levels. There's a lot going on, which might lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. How about this? Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Build a plan that matches up with you, your family, and your investment and retirement goals. Even better, Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. We don't sell a thing. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most, especially when approaching retirement. For those with high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider the Annex Private Client Experience. And if you're just starting out, Annex Ignite might be the right fit. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes. It's time to put things in order and lower the stress and anxiety. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management, AnnexWealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here. CertaPro Painters are the best in the business. I know they did my house, and it looks fantastic. Worry-free. Start with a free estimate. It's CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here, interior or exterior for your home or your business. They're quick. They're easy. They're affordable. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. I trust them at my house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:32. I'm Mike Spalding. Your top story, the DNC expands its reach.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're looking at some delays northbound 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keith. The southbound side, heavy from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. You're seeing some slowdowns westbound 94 from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard with the eastbound side. Couple areas. First of all, in Waukesha County, from just before Meadowbrook Road all the way to Highway 16. And then you're back on the brakes from about 68th Street through the Stadium Interchange as well. And then we've got southbound on 894 backing up from Greenfield Avenue all the way down past National. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly clear skies, cooler overnight tonight, a low 54, lakeside 44 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, a high 73 by the lake, 77 inland. Right now at 3:33, it is 69 degrees in downtown Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin. It is day number 2 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, but the convention's reach is growing outside the Windy City. Crowds gathering this afternoon for a rally in the Deer District in downtown Milwaukee.
Hundreds of people are already milling around Deer District this afternoon, waiting to enter inside Pfizer Forum for this evening's Kamala Harris-Tim Walz rally in downtown Milwaukee. Outside, a video board has already been wheeled in for those who can't get inside the arena as they eagerly await the 7th appearance from Harris this year alone in Wisconsin and the 2nd for Walz following his rally with Kamala in Eau Claire earlier this summer. Outside Pfizer Forum in downtown Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Governor Tony Evers will not be among the attendees at Vice President Harris's rally tonight. The governor telling WTMJ's Kristen Bry that he plans on staying in Chicago and monitoring that Milwaukee rally from his seat in the United Center. The governor, one of 95 delegates representing Wisconsin at the DNC. Inside the convention center this afternoon, organizers are working right up until it's curtains up.
The main programming will start at 5:30 tonight instead of 6 o'clock. DNC organizers tell us the timing change is to make sure they stay on track as President Biden's speech went past 11 o'clock last night, missing prime time. The keynote address tonight, former President Barack Obama. In Chicago, Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the Republican Party running some counter-programming here in Wisconsin. Republican vice presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance appeared at a campaign rally in Kenosha. He spoke at a meeting with the Kenosha Professional Police Association. That association did officially endorse former President Donald Trump and Senator Vance at that event. The former president, meanwhile, is on the campaign trail himself this afternoon, speaking in Howell, Michigan. Former President Trump striking a similar tone to that of his VP pick, going strong on crime.
We want a crime-free America. We're going to stop violent crime in the United States.
The campaign stop is number one in a slate of events that Trump is holding this week. And nearly 5 months after a glitch-filled opening day debut, the Brewers are set to try again with a new parking system.
This type of technology is a game changer.
The Brewers' Tyler Barnes announcing when the crew returns home next week Tuesday, fans will drive right into the lots, pay after parking by scanning posted QR codes. The tech was an epic fail on opening day, but Barnes says the team is confident it's ready to go.
We have been testing it in certain lots. And the last series that we just played, there was testing in multiple lots. And really, the system worked flawlessly.
He hit the ground running. Brewers will stick with the traditional parking method for this weekend's Green Day concert. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Speaking of the Brewers, they return to the field tonight. They are in St. Louis, beginning a 3-game series with the Cardinals. Coverage of tonight's game starts with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 3:36.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Now is the best time to sell your home, even if it's less than perfect. Summer is the easiest time to move, and the market is right. Grandview buys homes, and we are ready to make you an offer you're going to love. We'll pay more for your home right now than ever before, and you can lock in your price as soon as today. At Grandview Homes, we won't pressure you. Our offer is good, rain or shine, as long as the market doesn't change. When you are ready to sell, we'll be ready to buy. The best part is we'll buy your home as is, in any condition. When you sell to us, no repairs are needed, not even a clean out. We make it fast and easy and on your schedule. You won't have to deal with the real estate agents or showings. As your friends and neighbors at Grandview Homes, we know selling a home can change your life. You'll always get the respect you deserve, and you can take comfort in our 100% guaranteed closing. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We are broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The United Center, and just now, the young man who will give the Pledge of Allegiance tonight had his practice. It's kind of fun to be in here during the rehearsals at this hour of the day. What would you say he was, 12 years old maybe?
I thought that was wonderful, and we have
so cute.
We have such a beautiful view. We are right under like the millionaire box seats.
Yeah, we have a great view. If you're looking, we're to the left of the stage. We have a nice view right down into the bowl. People milling about right now. Not many delegates. They will start to get here. I talked to some of our delegates earlier today. They will get here, most of them like after 4 o'clock or so. But the media's here. The energy's starting to pick up.
It is. Few people trickling in.
Yeah. So that's the scene inside. Let's check in outside. ABC's Jim Ryan has been with the protesters the last couple of days, and he is with us here in Chicago. Jim, good afternoon. What's today look like out there?
Hey, John. Yeah, pretty quiet. Beautiful weather, of course. People getting ready for this evening and the events that will happen inside the DNC. But there is at least one demonstration that also is planned outside at 7 o'clock outside the Israeli consulate. Now, since Sunday, we've had at least one some protest every day. Generally, these are pro-Palestinian protests. The one on Sunday, though, in downtown Chicago was sort of a multi-causal. It had a lot to do with LGBTQ issues, with abortion rights issues, these sorts of things. The one yesterday involving 3,500 people was more squarely focused on pro-Palestinian issues.
So 3,500 sounds like a big crowd, and I guess it's all relative, but they were hoping, Jim, for between 10 and 20,000.
Well, I mean, of course, we've only had one day of the convention, too. There could be a larger crowd this evening, could be greater crowds later in the week, too. But, I mean, 3,500 people, and once they started marching, it took a while to march that many people down the street. They did so in an orderly fashion, although some splinter group came off of that and actually penetrated a perimeter fence, or the barricade, the steel barricade around the United Center. They were immediately arrested, but not before some police officers were pepper sprayed. 13 people taken into custody on charges ranging from criminal trespass to assaulting a police officer.
That was when was the pepper spraying?
That was at the time that of the breach at the perimeter outside the center. Now the Secret Service is in charge of that perimeter, that outer fence thing, and so they went out, the Secret Service, and they've bolstered it, they've reinforced it. So the hope is that people don't get into that perimeter fence again.
So 13 arrests, correct? And now we're hearing that more streets are closed. So are they making the perimeter, the footprint, even larger for people not to get closer?
Yeah, apparently so, yes. And that may have been part of the plan in the beginning to sort of widen out that footprint. But, yeah, so it's going to take longer. And I think most of the delegates are walking some distance to get in anyway. It's not as though they're driving up and parking. So a little less convenient for everybody. There was a big snag yesterday. Busloads of delegates were delayed in getting inside. One bus, there was a breakdown, there was a minor crash, and then another bus broke down, and that sort of clogged up the whole system of getting into United Center.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
As a matter of fact, our Kristen Bry was trying to get here from McCormick Place.
I know.
And she spent the morning with our delegation at McCormick Place yesterday, got on the shuttle. She should have been here in time to get inside when she wanted to. And when that breach happened near the United Center, everything came to a halt, she said, and they were stuck on the bus. The bus literally wasn't moving. Other shuttles in front of them and behind them didn't move. People couldn't get in here. It ended up being quite a mess yesterday because 13 people decided that they needed to try to break through the fence as part of the protest.
And from what I heard from another colleague that's here, he learned from the Secret Service that if they do anything with this temporary fencing, all of the fencing then has to be checked around the entire perimeter.
Wow.
So and then everything shuts down, John.
Yeah, and that's what happened yesterday.
Yes.
All right, Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. Very interested in a couple of things with Major. What he thought of last night's speech. I thought the tone was kind of not what a lot of people expected. And what does he make of Kamala Harris being in Milwaukee tonight when the Obamas are speaking in Chicago tonight? Major Garrett with us after the break on WTMJ.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless Ready-to-Drink Cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They know that our climate can be all over the place. Like right now, we've gotten a lot of rain, more rain than we usually ever get in August, and it's been hot, and now tonight it's going to be in the 40s inland. That means that your system kind of gets a workout. Air conditioner isn't sure. Am I on? Am I off? We had guests staying at our house 2 weeks ago. You're not going to believe this, but our house is so tight that when the air was on in most levels of the house, it was chilly in the basement, and he put the heat on. And you can do that when you got Dave Drake Camp looking after your stuff because they're going to make sure all the systems are roaring and ready to go, and that's exactly what happens. If you're looking for a new system, maybe you just need a checkup or you have a little home comfort dilemma, get in touch with my guys at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They've been coming to our house for more than 10 years. They know what they're doing. Simply got a question? They'll help you with that too. Dave Drake Camp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2025 European journey. Travel in style, embrace beauty, and create memories with new friends as you visit our favorite destinations, including Ireland, Italy, Germany, France, Switzerland, Poland, Croatia, and more. Whether it's your first or your 10th time visiting Europe, you don't want to miss out on our expertly crafted group tours with Insight Vacations, Globus, or Avalon Waterways. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Let's explore the world together.
It's time for the 2024 MBA Parade of Homes, presented by Nuns. See 14 new homes by 14 MBA builders in 2 locations, Fox River Falls in Menominee Falls and Autumn Trace in New Berlin. See the latest new home designs, grand finishes, and cutting-edge features in convenient subdivision locations that offer exciting opportunities to build your dream home. Don't miss the Metropolitan Builders Association's Parade of Homes, August 10th through September 2nd. For tickets and hours, visit mbaparadeofhomes.com today.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2meninajunktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at roads at Debbie Lazaga in Milwaukee. Hey.
Hey, Julia. Yeah, we've got some backups right now. 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. So giving yourself a little bit of extra time would be a good idea. Got some slowdowns on southbound 43, too, from before Hampton Avenue all the way down to Capitol. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac all the way up past Keith. Eastbound 94, still seeing some delays from Meadowbrook all the way to Highway 16. And then from about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. Some delays along southbound 894 right out of the Zoo interchange all the way down to about National Avenue. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, mainly clear and cool. It'll be 54 at the lake, 44 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, beautiful pick day, high of 73 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny and beautiful again, a high of 75. Friday, it's partly cloudy, a bit warmer, 80 degrees. Saturday, partly cloudy, warm, and getting more humid, a high of 86 degrees.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. The Takeout podcast is heard on WTMJ. His books, The Big Truth and Mr. Trump's Wild Ride, are must-read books. Major, thank you so much for being with us.
Great to be with you. How are you?
We're good. So we're sad. We're sad that you're not here in Chicago. You should be. As a matter of fact, I got myself in a little bit of trouble, Major, because here's what happened. I got here about 4 hours ago, and I wandered over the CBS compound, and it is a compound. And I wanted to see what was going on over there because Julie and I are not happy that you're not here.
Yeah, we were sniffing it out.
So I ran into Tony Dokapil. And, I mean, the guy's got an entourage like the size of Des Moines. And I said, what are you doing with all these people? And he said, I'm rushed. I got to go. Katie Turr's waiting for me to call. And it was just a whole thing. But we're sad that you're not here, Major, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm sad that I'm not there as well. Decisions have been made, and I will just fall back on one of the hackneyed phrases of our era. It is what it is.
Yep, you're right. Okay, so let's talk about what is going on here in Chicago. Last night's speech. How would you analyze last night's speech, the 51-minute speech given by President Biden?
It sounded very much like a State of the Union address. I was surprised that it wasn't. I was surprised that it wasn't more in the moment, and that it didn't have a couple of jokes. I was fully expecting the president to come out. It was almost 11:30 Eastern, and say, "What are you doing? Keeping me up way past my bedtime," or something like that, just to sort of break the ice and enjoy the moment, have the audience laugh, have some sort of recognition that this is a moment of some not inconsiderable awkwardness. 6 weeks ago, he was telling everyone within the party, the delegates, everyone, hold firm. I didn't blow the debate, or if I did, it's not terminal. I can do this. Let's rally, blah, blah, blah. Now he's handing everything over, and that's a big deal. I mean, that is an enormous, historic deal. And I didn't hear any of that last night. Like, I'm the one who set all this in motion, good and bad. I'm the one who turned this convention into the thing it is now. Let's recognize that a bit. I thought the speech was fine, but I was expecting much more.
So, Major, I talked to a delegate who I've known for a very long time, and the delegate told me we were sitting there and we wanted to cry. We were ready to cry and hug each other and reminisce and be a little melancholy. And this person said it was too much policy. And they would not tell me that on the record, but they were disappointed at the tone of the speech.
Yeah, I just, it's very funny. President Trump had a tremendous opportunity in Milwaukee, and he kind of blew it. He had this great moment, this very heavy, pregnant moment is sort of an overused term, but it was a moment full of emotional potential, and Trump dissipated it. He got off to a good start, and then it all wandered away. And 45 minutes into that speech, most people had lost the thread, as had the former president. I think very similar in different contexts, of course, but there was great emotional weight in that room in the United Center, waiting for the president to stir it and direct it and harmonize it and bring a kind of early crescendo as only he can, because as I just mentioned, he set all this in motion, good and bad. And he goes pile driving through policy. Like, I know you love the CHIPS Act, but that's not the place for it.
I know, totally.
Yeah.
I even saw Walz's wife like ready to cry, and the second gentleman had, I don't know, it was just missed opportunity for that. Let's talk about Kamala at Pfizer Forum tonight.
Yes.
Why? What is going on? I mean, this is like her time to shine.
So these are the kinds of things that are possible in politics for either party. It just happens to be more possible for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz right now. When you have momentum, you can do things that are unconventional. So if you're trying to demonstrate, hey, I've got momentum, Milwaukee's super close, as we know, not that far from Chicago. The Republicans were just there. Let's go up and see what we can do in that arena. Maybe we can sell it out or come halfway close or whatever, put up a decent crowd even though our event is in Chicago. Have a symbolic counter-programming, which is important. It is a different audience. It's a different way to demonstrate enthusiasm and excitement, and everyone knows in their core Wisconsin is going to be crucial to the electoral map for both campaigns. That's why they're riding this wave of enthusiasm. Hey, let's see what we can make of it. Can we make an interesting, intricate, and resonant sort of image and do some organizing while we're there? Why not go to Milwaukee? It's close. It makes sense.
Are the Obamas or anybody irritated by this? Now the story won't be just that Barack Obama, maybe the greatest orator in the Democratic Party, gives his big speech tonight after his wife does, but it's that it's a split screen now. It's also, and Kamala Harris was sitting in the bowl where Donald Trump gave his speech a few weeks ago, watching Obama give his speech, and it's kind of like splits the attention.
I don't think the Obamas are going to be that upset about it. If anything, they will be understanding that right now Kamala Harris has a kind of vibration around her candidacy that is in some ways similar to what candidate Obama had in 2008. And candidate Obama did all sorts of unconventional things to harness that, recontextualize it, dramatize it, and use it as a tool for organizing. And that's what this thing in Pfizer and in Wisconsin tonight is about. Getting people in the building and getting them ready to organize and work for the campaign. The Obamas understand that. I don't think they're going to have any real problem with it whatsoever, because they know better than anyone you win elections by organizing. And that's what this is in part about in Milwaukee. So I don't think they're going to be too ticked off about that. The Obamas have had their run, a very good run. And you don't, as was said last night, and this is true, in the continuity of the Democratic Party, you don't get Kamala Harris without Barack Obama, and you don't get Kamala Harris without Hillary Clinton. So the last three nominees for the Democratic Party before Joe Biden are direct points on the demographic and political acceptance map to Kamala Harris. So I don't think the Obamas are going to get bent out of shape about that.
Okay. I would love to know from your perspective about this one, the fact that Kamala has not spoken to any national media like Chief Washington Correspondent. What's that?
Yeah, that'd be a great interview. Major should talk to her.
Yeah. I mean...
The takeout podcast. Let's eat some food and talk.
Yes, it would be.
I want to know from your perspective, why is she not talking to a national news state like CBS News?
Because she doesn't have to right now. She doesn't have to talk to NBC. She doesn't have to talk to ABC. She doesn't have to talk to CNN. She does not have to talk to anyone. And think about it this way. I had Robbie Mook on my show, The Takeout, last week. He was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager in 2016. He said flatly, as soon as the convention is over and Harris has assessed what her post-convention bounce is, she's going to probably have to get ready for the debate. And after the debate on September 10th, she's going to have to start doing national media. It's just inevitable. She's going to have to do press conferences or sit-down interviews or whatever. But right now, she doesn't have to. She can ride the wave, and everything that you deal when you're a national candidate that engages the national media is a risk-reward scenario. There is some risk. There's also some reward. But right now, there's more risk than reward, so why do it? The political calculations are very simple here. And guess what? I want to talk to a political figure in our country every single day. That's my desire as a reporter. Politicians don't look at it that way. Look at former President Trump right now. He is for the first time since June of 2015 when he announced his candidacy, Donald Trump for the very first time is chasing media attention. He is desperately engaging the media, trying to remain relevant. They're trying to feverishly campaign this week to make sure that people don't forget about them while the Democratic convention is going on. Trump is practically tackling reporters to get them to talk to him. He's never been in that situation before. This is a vivid illustration of the dynamic I'm talking about. The media is relevant to politicians when the politicians need the media, not the other way around. And right now, Kamala Harris does not need the media. Not me, not NBC, not ABC, not the Washington Post, not the New York Times, not anyone. She will eventually, and that's when she'll come back.
He's Major Garrett. He's the best in the business, yes. CBS's Chief Washington Correspondent. Major, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have fun, guys.
It is 3:56 at WTMJ. Let's check those business headlines.
Clarios International out of Glendale invest about $220 million to expand production of advanced batteries at plants in Europe. The privately held company said the project will boost its capacity by 50% in the region and create 150 jobs there. A plan advances to transform vacant city lots in Milwaukee into an outdoor art gallery, eco-friendly garden, community space, and potentially a mixed-use development. Milwaukee's Plan Commission on Monday approved a rezoning for the project. Yummy Bones Barbecue opens August 20th at Crossroads Collective Food Hall on Milwaukee's east side. The Southern-style menu includes ribs, chicken, brisket, wings, and more. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The Pfister Hotel is pleased to announce that it has entered Phase 3 of its extensive renovation plan. After the full revitalization of the hotel's event spaces and historic guest rooms, Phase 3 focuses on the hotel's first-floor public spaces and is set to be completed this fall. The renovations will accentuate the grandeur of Milwaukee's most beautiful lobby while reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms today. Start planning your stay at thepfisterhotel.com.
Adrienne was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. We've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Our team of fiduciary advisors are here to help you retire well with our streamlined retirement process. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit us at thekowalway.com.
Some things can't be argued. Miller is better than Busch, and the Brewers are better than the Cardinals.
He's there, he makes the catch, and this ball game is over. The Brewers take down the Cardinals.
Our coverage of the matchup begins tonight at 6:10. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Hey, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Mike Spalding. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Tuesday, August 20th. Your top story, some changes underway at the DNC.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 41, hitting the brakes right at Appleton Avenue, taking you all the way down past Capitol Drive, almost to Burleigh. We got more delays then from Highway 18 all the way down through the Zoo interchange to about Lincoln. We've also got delays southbound 43 from about just south of Silver Spring down to Capitol, then back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Does not really let up until you get past the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly clear, cool overnight tonight, low 54 lakeside, 44 degrees inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, high 73 by the lake, 77 degrees inland. At 4:01 right now, it is 69 degrees in downtown Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, it is day number 2 for the Democratic National Convention, and organizers in Chicago are working right up until curtain call.
The Harris campaign leaders are touting several Republicans who will be on the list of speakers tonight, though the exact timing of their remarks was not immediately clear. This includes Stephanie Grisham, who was a White House press secretary and chief of staff for First Lady Melania Trump. We have also learned the main programming will start at 5:30 tonight instead of 6. DNC organizers tell us the timing change is to make sure they stay on track. Reporting at the DNC inside the United Center in Chicago, Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Among the speakers tonight as well will be headlined by former President Barack Obama. He'll be speaking following an address by his wife and former First Lady, Michelle.
It's going to be, in a sense, a bookend, really, for Obama and Harris's relationship. 20 years in the making. Harris was a supporter of Obama in the early days, supporting him in 2008, and now he's supporting her on her road to the presidency and this Democratic nomination. He's offering his advice and some of his own staff, Obama alum, moving over to the Harris campaign. And he really is going to come out here tonight and talk a bit about their relationship, but also how he feels she is the right person for this moment.
In addition to the Obamas, Harris's husband and second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, also set to speak at the DNC this evening. He won't be speaking tonight, but he will be playing a role in the convention, that being Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
It's not like my superhero origin story, like, Bruce Wayne going down crime alley with his parents and all the stuff that leads up to him becoming Batman. It's not that. It's more of a baton passing between myself and another mayor and introducing another package that the DNC has planned.
It's a short stint at the DNC, but one Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson was grateful to get.
It's going to be one of the things that I remember for the rest of my life, I'm sure.
He tells Wisconsin's Midday News his team asked for a role.
Yeah, we asked the question. Everybody asks the question. question. I mean, who wouldn't want to be on that stage at any given point?
The convention's theme on Wednesday is a fight for our freedoms. Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
For the Republican Party, former President Donald Trump is campaigning as well. He delivered remarks this afternoon during a rally in Michigan. This on the second day of the DNC. As for Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, he spoke right here in Wisconsin, speaking at a campaign event in Kenosha today focused on public safety. Tragedy strikes in Oconomowoc. A bicyclist is dead after they were struck by a train. Police say the incident happened this afternoon at the railroad crossing at South Silver Lake Street in downtown Oconomowoc. As a result, several railroad crossings at South Cross Street, South Main Street, South Worthington Street remain closed for that investigation. Coming up, Beyonce gets into the bourbon game. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 404.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
Our southern border is in chaos, with drugs and criminals flowing into our country. But sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrants who commit crimes from being deported. Like an illegal immigrant arrested for battery in Madison. He should have been deported. Instead, he was released back into the community and went on to assault several more women, including a 13-year-old girl. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted 9 times to support federal funding for sanctuary cities that refuse to cooperate with immigration officials and release these dangerous criminals back onto our streets. And Senator Baldwin voted for amnesty for 11 million illegals, including convicted criminals. Call Senator Baldwin, 608-264-5338. Urge her to support S-1068, the Stop Dangerous Sanctuary Cities Act. Stop protecting illegal immigrants and start protecting Wisconsin. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 406. Beyonce's getting into the booze business.
This ain't Texas. Beyonce's launching a new whiskey brand called Sir Davis, a tribute to her great-grandfather who was a farmer and moonshiner in her home state of Texas. The superstar says it took years to create this drink. It has notes of warm spices like clove, cinnamon, and ginger, and orange flavors with a smooth honey finish. The whiskey's also award-winning. It was secretly submitted to spirit competitions last year and won Best in Class at the SIP Awards. Sir Davis is out nationwide next month, but fans can pre-order it for $89. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. It's back to work for your Milwaukee Brewers tonight. They're in St. Louis for the first of a 3-game series against second-place St. Louis Cardinals. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 407.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
When you ask people here what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler, for some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely genuinely care about your experience and happiness and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing, it's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, now open in Wauwatosa.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Now broadcasting live from the DNC at the United Center in downtown Chicago. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Seats are filling up, John.
They are. So we are in this big cavernous arena, and it's hard to get to us. We're up on the 7th floor, and we've now had the second guest who's going to join us shortly who said, thank goodness you put signs up. So Julia made these incredible big signs, and as soon as you get into the United Center, one of the biggest arenas in America, there are signs that look professionally made that say WTMJ with arrows and big font, and thank God you did that.
So just so you know, every probably about 6 feet, I put that sign up, and it's so obnoxious.
It's so awesome. It's working.
It's so hard.
Because it's hard to find where we are. And it's a beautiful location. We have a great view. We're up on the 7th level of 8 levels, and we're looking down right into the bowl. But it's hard to get here.
I know, but you know what you loved? Tell them what you love. That the one thing that the
flag.
flag.
So this is incredible, the technology, how it's evolved. So much like at Fiserv, they have a beautiful board, a multimedia board behind where the podium is, and they can project images on there. There's an image of a flag that was flying on there, and it looked just like a real flag. It's so vibrant and so big, and it's incredible how they've transformed the arena, much like they did at Fiserv. It is absolutely remarkable to think that the Chicago Bulls and Blackhawks play in here, and that this isn't a permanent DNC headquarters. It's just remarkable,
Totally.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hey, have you liked being able to hang out and listen to the different performers and speakers as they rehearse? Isn't it cool?
Patti LaBelle, she brought the house down. Everybody, she gave me chills.
It was incredible. Charles Benson said she's 80. Did you see her moving out there?
I could not believe that.
Incredible.
It's so hard to have a strong voice for that long.
And she was dancing. It was like we were joking, saying somebody should tell her this is only the rehearsal. She was just really, really into it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go any further, let's give away some Brewers tickets. We do this on every single Tuesday. So how about caller number 8? Caller number 8 for Ryan Braun. Let's do that. He was just put into the Walk of Fame. Caller number 8, you win tickets to the Brewers. It's on the 27th of this month. It is a week from today against the Giants. So caller number 8, good luck. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. Caller number 8. You know what I kept thinking about as we watched Patti LaBelle rehearse, and then Common the Rapper was rehearsing, and that had incredible energy as well. I kept thinking about poor James Taylor. About this time yesterday, he was rehearsing, and then he didn't even make the program. He got cut.
He is amazing, and
I know.
We were able to hear some of it.
You've Got a Friend. He was singing You've Got a Friend, which would have sounded really cool inside this big building with all the delegates, and he was told, sorry, we're out of time.
What do you think he'd think about that?
I bet his feelings were hurt a little bit.
They better make up for that.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden was on past midnight on the East Coast. That thing went so late that I talked to people on the East Coast earlier today, and I asked if they watched the speech, and they said, no, we had to work.
Well, listen,
and it was too late.
The whole point of this is for the speaker to be in prime time.
Yes. And it wasn't even close. I mean, it was really, really, really late.
John,
they're actually you found out they're moving up the start of the program tonight to try to alleviate that, right?
Yeah. The really big headline speakers are supposed to start at 6 p.m. and they've moved it to 5:30 just to keep things going on time. John, imagine, we were both in television. What do you think the anchors were thinking when it went to local news?
It's funny you say that, because I kept thinking, you know what, I know this isn't about them, but Steve Shamraz was losing his mind because he was like, oh my gosh, we thought maybe 10:15, now we're going on at 11:15, 11:30. I bet they were losing their mind.
Oh my gosh. all across the country.
Yeah.
The East Coasters.
So tonight it's going to be a little bit earlier, and tonight some of the big speakers are Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Governor Pritzker here in Illinois is going to speak. Common, I think, is going to play. Usually they've released the list of speakers by now with detailed times, and I think that list still isn't out.
Yes, I keep on going.
Maybe they're refining it still.
I don't know, John, but I keep on going over there, and they say, no, we don't have it, no, we don't have it.
But and Kamala Harris is in Milwaukee.
I got another embargoed speech. It was just a United States Senator of Michigan, Gary Peters, and he, Michigan is another battleground state, so he was really talking to the fact that, about walls, that he gets it. He gets the heartland, us.
Yeah.
So
he's scheduled for tonight as well.
Yeah, that's another one. So I'm trying for you guys. I'm getting everything.
We're checking it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are inside the United Center. It is quite a sight, and as Julia said, it's beginning to fill up a little bit here. The rehearsals are winding down now as we get ready for the speakers to actually begin coming up here in a little bit. The ceremonial roll call is also this evening. That's always really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And a little birdie told us that each delegation is going to have a walk-up song. That's going to be really fun.
I love it.
Yeah. What will ours be? I just want to bang the drum all day.
Roll out the barrel.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
So, all right, Scott Ross is going to join us in a little bit. Maybe he will know what our stuff is. Kristen Bry is up next. She's been over at McCormick Place. I think she had breakfast with our delegation today. Kristen Bry joins us up next. We're broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Hey, this company transformed my lawn, my landscape. It's Landworks Wisconsin. Big project, small project. They will do your project and do it right. They took my yard and completely made it better. I already had a beautiful yard. We've got a wonderful house, but they took it to the next level. It's absolutely stunning. It's Landworks Wisconsin. Ideas that are fresh, solutions that stand the test of time. I was at their company picnic over the weekend. And you know what? I know why the guys work so hard. I know why they care about each other. Because at the picnic, you could feel the love. It's a real team effort. Joe was my guy in charge of my project. From beginning to end, I dealt with Joe. From all the way through, single point of contact, and I absolutely love that. The work will exceed your expectations. It's Landworks Wisconsin. They do it right. Check them out, landworkswisconsin.com.
IndyCar returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park this Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend features NTT IndyCar Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss the fun in the free fan zone all weekend long, including live entertainment at the Bank 59 Amphitheater with headliners including Ian Munsick and Quiet Riot. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com and experience Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend, August 30th through September 1st.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Now's a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows. Why put it off? The lines are shorter, and we'll be ready to take on your next project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeckeye.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team in September. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get out to Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Southbound on 43. Give yourself some time. We've got some slowdowns from before Hampton all the way down past Capitol and then just south of North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Got the northbound side also slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94, delays from 20th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, heavy traffic heading past Highway 83 and then again basically from about Meadowbrook Road all the way to about Highway 16. and then back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way through to 27th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, it's going to be a good one. Good sleeping weather, a low of about 50 degrees with clear skies. Tomorrow, high of 75 and sunny. On Thursday, high of 77 and Friday, a little cloud cover, 78 degrees. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 84 degrees. She has one of the most fun jobs at the station. It's Kristen Bry. She is the host of Spanning the State, and she's been spanning the DNC the past couple of days, and she is with us. I don't think she's slept at all. Kristen, how are you?
I know. I'm great. We're in the same building. I am just on the first level. I am technically in the creators lounge at this point. There's a lot of ring lights. There's a lot of external batteries. There's a lot of selfies being taken. But I am running on adrenaline for sure.
So we have been waiting to get with our delegation because most of them won't get to the arena until later in the day. But you got to spend the morning with our delegation. What were you up to?
So I had RSVP'd to be in the press box for the breakfast this morning. And so I was saying earlier today that I had never done that before. And so as you guys probably have. And so it was my first time being experienced of having to be in the press pen. And that you get scolded if you get too far out of the press pen. But I was there, and I saw Charles Benson, I saw Emily Fannin, I saw a lot of our friends from Milwaukee media set up with their cameras. But it was interesting. Senator Mark Kelly got to speak, and so I got to hear him speak. Governor Andy Beshear from Kentucky spoke. Sarah Godlewski spoke. Of course, Ben Withler was up there with, not to spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure the Cheeseheads are coming out tonight. At the RNC, the Cheeseheads were the fourth night. I got a sneak peek, and I'm pretty sure we can. Those things don't travel well, but we sure love to wear them.
Oh, my gosh. And Julia knows about getting scolded in the media pen. She kind of prides herself on, you want me to stay in the media pen? What if I want to duck out under this little line right there?
Oh, that's funny. Yes. He's talking about Vance. During the Vance event, Kristen, we were in the middle of the smallest room you could ever imagine, and there were probably 50 cameras, and I was just trying to move a little bit, and I messed up one of their velvet ropes.
Ooh.
So I stole 30%, literally. One cheek was on a chair because everybody else was sitting on the ground. People were grabbing each other on accident. The Fox 6
tight quarters.
The Fox 6 reporter fell on two reporters on the ground. It was every man for themselves.
Hey, I'm interested, Kristen, because Kamala Harris is going to be in Milwaukee today, and the governor, I heard audio you got with the governor where he said, I believe, that he's going to be here because, he's here at the convention. Is the governor jazzed as hell to be here?
Oh, my gosh, yes. So I got to talk to him this morning, and you could just, he's a pretty subtle person, right? And so it's always funny when he says those types of things as far as being jazzed as hell or being a little mad as hell, I think we've heard him say before. But you could tell that he was really excited. And I think I had talked to his comms director about how last night went, and it sounds like, he's a man of a certain age. And you'd think that having the night go as late as it did, as soon as President Biden was done speaking, he would want to get out of here, get home. I guess he was taking pictures. He was not in any hurry to get out of the arena last night. Like, he is very excited to be here. And you can tell that I feel like there's a reflection on his own as far as one generation and passing the torch to the next.
That's interesting because Senator Ron Johnson, remember when Vance was speaking, he left early and he got caught.
Yeah, busted.
Oh, did he really? I forgot that happened.
Busted.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask you this probably again before the convention's over. You've been here now 2 days, and you've had logistical issues. How would you compare the setup of this convention to the setup of the RNC in Milwaukee?
Whew, it definitely feels different. And granted, I'm here on a different credential than what you guys are on and what we all had at the RNC. So we had press media credentials for the RNC, and I am here through this new creator program. And so that is not having our great news director, Tiff Kua, be in charge of picking everything up has been a little bit different as far as me trying to coordinate everything on my own. But I will say the biggest difference to me is what was easy about Milwaukee is that once you were in, you were in. The convention center was right next to the arena. And so there wasn't a need, especially for us and our jobs, of taking shuttles back and forth. And as you look at the schedule of everything that's happening in a day, trying to factor in the fact that it's going to take you somewhere between 20 minutes, or like it did for me last night, trying to get into the United Center. I was on a shuttle for an hour last night because we got stopped due to the protesters. And so
the Cliff Notes version of this is that Milwaukee is way better than Chicago. Okay.
Yes.
What I will say is, I when we talk to other people in Milwaukee during the RNC, and I had talked to other media folks who had been to a lot of conventions, and a lot of them were saying, "Oh my gosh, this has been so nice." Because I think what's happening in Chicago, the convention center is 5 miles from the arena, and the district with all the hotels is 5 miles from there. It's how most cities are set up, right? And so Milwaukee's really unique in that we had both of the main points as far as the convention center and the arena right next to each other. I don't know a lot of other cities that are set up like that.
Kristen Bryce spanning the state and taking it all in. Kristen, thanks for being willing to join us every day. We appreciate your take on things.
Yep, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you around.
Yes, talk to you tomorrow. And she called it. Look, there's our section down there, and the cheeseheads are already out. They're beginning to populate the Wisconsin section, and the cheeseheads are filing in. The cheese is on the head. There will be no doubt where the Wisconsin delegation is tonight.
And it's the same type of thing at the RNC.
Like the formation hat.
It's like a wedge.
Yeah, it's that
because
formation.
They're in little oh my gosh.
You know that's going to be on TV tonight. That will be big time on TV tonight.
Wisconsin has to be on TV.
Look at that. That is looking good.
So good.
All right, time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red today. Longest winning streak has been snapped. A little bit of a breather. Maybe it's only a mini breather for the markets. The Dow is off 61 points today. The S&P was down 11 points. The NASDAQ was off 59 points on the day. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
You know, plumbing is kind of like the human body, a complex network of curvy, twisting pipes that keep vital fluids moving and your home grooving. And just like the human body, sometimes your plumbing can get a little backed up. When this happens, it's good to call in a professional, like Mr. Holland's Home Services. Sure, there's a shelf full of over-the-counter remedies to choose from, but let's face it, those do-it-yourself drain cleaners lack the potency to power through your plugged-up pipes. We may not have a GI doctor on staff at Mr. Holland's Home Services, but our proficient plumbers do have extensive experience in eliminating impactions, cleaning up clogs, and de-straining drains. Mr. Holland's crew navigates your pipes, joints, elbows, and T's to keep water flowing to where it should be going. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If your home's plumbing is asking for a laxative, we can help.
Let me tell you a little bit about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They've got a window for every home and budget, and they really do. I know. I was just in their experience center. Some places call it a showroom. Oh, no. This is much bigger than the showroom. As a matter of fact, their experience center was built by the same people that built the Apple stores. I'm not kidding. You know how special those are, right? They've got all the windows, the doors, can be made of any material, wood, laminate, fiberglass. I love this part. The glass in Pella Windows and Doors is made right here in the state of Wisconsin. It's the real deal. Speaking of deals, right now, you can get 0% interest for up to 60 months, no money down, equal payments. Here's the deal. You get the windows, you get the doors, maybe you get that sliding patio door, and you don't have to pay anything for 4 years. 4 years. Gina Della and her team want to make sure that you have your house the way that you deserve your house. PellaWI.com, that is the website. Check it out. Everything's custom made. They'll do it all for you. PellaWI.com.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was more than a year ago that my wife and I decided we needed new garage doors. And now a year later from J.D. Griffiths, and they look brand new. Just gorgeous garage doors that enhance the look of the house. They pop. I tell you, they pop. J.D. Griffiths has been doing it for more than 70 years. And they're not just providing premier garage doors, they're also Milwaukee's detached garage builders. They do it all for you. And now J.D. Griffiths is offering you a deal. You can get $100 off a new garage door opener with the purchase of a brand new garage door from J.D. Griffiths. They'll come in, you'll get that free at-home estimate, and they'll take care of you. Here's what you do. Go to the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ, or call 414-362-7222 and mention me, Eric Bilstead, and you will save some cash. Check out J.D. Griffiths and enhance the look of your home. Those garage doors, they pop. 414-362-7222, J.D. Griffiths.
Here at Rich Lawns, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center, and well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
At 4:30, I'm Mike Spalding. Our top story, a vice presidential rally north of the border.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We got some issues. Southbound 41, just south of Main Street in Menominee Falls. The two left lanes are blocked with a crash, so watch for those delays to start really creeping up. Beyond that, though, we do have delays from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. Westbound 94, heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side slow from 76th Street all the way, and make that 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Mainly clear skies and cool overnight tonight, a low 54, Lakeside 44 degrees. Inland tomorrow, more beautiful weather on the way. Sunny skies, a high 73, Lakeside 77 degrees inland. Right now, it is 68 degrees in downtown Milwaukee at 4:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin now, the city of Milwaukee is getting a piece of both major political party conventions this year. Weeks after hosting Republicans for their nominating convention, Milwaukee now getting a bit of the Democratic National Convention as well, with the main celebration taking place 90 miles south in Chicago. Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz are both in Milwaukee for a rally of their own tonight. The two set to take the stage at Fiserv Forum. That's the same place Republican nominee Donald Trump and his running mate Senator J.D. Vance accepted their party's nomination just over a month ago. Following their speeches, both Harris and Walz say they plan to monitor the remainder of the DNC's event tonight from the city of Milwaukee. The Harris move is one that puts the city of Milwaukee again in the national spotlight.
Having the vice president come to Milwaukee and Governor Walz just showcases the importance of not just the city, but the entire state of Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson joined Wisconsin's Midday News ahead of the Harris rally. He thinks the unique decision to be in Bruce City on day 2 of the DNC goes back to 2020.
Milwaukee and Wisconsin, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick here with COVID in 2020. So this will be an opportunity for the Democrats to say, hey, we see you. We understand that it didn't pan out the way that all of us wanted it to in 2020. So here is some limelight during the DNC in 2024.
Mayor Johnson expects thousands of people to fill up Pfizer Forum, the same arena the GOP packed just last month for the Republican National Convention. Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
The Republican ticket isn't sitting idle as Democrats celebrate in the Windy City. Former President Donald Trump taking to the campaign trail this afternoon. He was in Michigan speaking about his commitment to law and order.
And I will crack down on local Marxist DAs who refuse to enforce the law. They refuse to put murderers in jail.
Trump's running mate, Republican J.D. Vance, is also making a push for public safety. He was in an event in Kenosha today.
We're lucky enough to grow up in a country that believed that public safety was the right, the birthright of every American citizen, rich or poor, and we supported our police in carrying out that mission of public safety.
That was echoed by Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile.
Standing with the men and women of law enforcement could not be more important than when we're standing here in the city of Kenosha.
Stile referring to the incident in August of 2020 when Illinois teen Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed 2 men and wounded another in Kenosha during protests following the officer-involved shooting of Jacob Blake. The recall attempt of a 4th member of the Milwaukee Public Schools Board of Directors has failed. A signature count indicated that recall organizers fell about 16,000 votes short of recalling board member Missy Zomber. The recall efforts for Board President Marva Herndon and Vice President Jilly Gokul Gandhi, along with board member Erica Simpson, also failed. The recall efforts all linked to the ongoing financial issues the district is navigating in relation to delayed reports to the state of Wisconsin. And the Milwaukee Brewers are set to bring back their revamped parking system next week after months of testing and working out glitches that plagued it on opening day. Brewers Vice President of Communications Tyler Barnes telling Wisconsin's Morning News that fans have been able to see the team running more tests during the last few home games.
They were testing in multiple lots, and really the system worked flawlessly. Now we're in a spot where we're very comfortable rolling this back out and look forward to doing it with the Giants series next week.
Barnes says that traditional parking system will remain in place for the upcoming Green Day concert on August 24th. The tentative start date for that revamped parking system will be on August 27th. And speaking of the Brewers, they are back on WTMJ tonight. They begin a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 4:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Why trust Grandview Homes to buy your home? It's simple. We make the home selling process fast, easy, and stress-free, even if your home is less than perfect. No real estate agents, no repairs, no cleanouts needed. Leave the mess and the stress to us. At Grandview Homes, we live and work in your neighborhoods. Our reputation is built on 15 years treating sellers with the dignity and respect they deserve. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic void. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are talking all things schedule. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We are broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention. We are inside the United Center in Chicago. It's all decked out. It's sparkly and shiny. Getting ready for another really big night. It's Barack Obama tonight. It's Michelle Obama. It's the governor of Illinois. And it's a lot of other people. This is going to be super cool.
Yeah, and we're joined by someone who really is the brains behind a lot of things that go on with the Democrats in Wisconsin. So many different movements. I've known him now for 14 years.
And he's still talking to you.
We're getting old. Oh my God, the stories he could tell about. He could blackmail me.
Let's do that.
Scott, no. He's so good. Scott Ross, he's the former executive director of the Madison-based One Wisconsin Now, a liberal advocacy group. He formerly worked as a communications director for Democrats who have served in Congress and Wisconsin state government. We're so happy that you're with us. Thank you so much.
No, it's really a pleasure to be here.
What is your analysis of the fact that Kamala Harris is not here tonight, but in our state, in Wisconsin?
Oh, I think it shows that, the state of Wisconsin is going to decide this election, how important Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and the Democrats feel Wisconsin is, and more so for your listeners, that southeastern Wisconsin is the place to be if you want to win a Democratic election.
What do you think about Ozaukee County? It's really changed because of the WOW counties. Dane County has a hold. The mayor of Madison, she was getting so many people to vote. Everybody in Madison was voting, and Milwaukee, it depends on how the turnout's going to be, but it seems like Ozaukee may turn blue, and that could be a really big problem for the Republicans.
Yeah, if Ozaukee turns blue, Republicans will never win a statewide election in Wisconsin again. And I was actually talking with the county party chair from Ozaukee just yesterday. I went to the delegate breakfast and got a chance to talk to her, and she talked about before the debate happened, and right after it, that their turnout at their events was pretty lackluster. As soon as Joe Biden decided to put country first and decided that he was going to pass the torch to a new generation, Gen Xer Kamala Harris, she said that it exploded their next meeting, the participation. Democrats are, to quote our governor, jazzed as hell about the opportunity here that exists with bringing that new generation of leadership, and the joy and hope that you're seeing. Again, America's been kind of under siege the last 8 years between Donald Trump going in and for a lot of people, what a nightmare that was, and the wake-up call for that, and then pandemic, and we get Joe Biden in there who's trying to save America, basically restore the 3 million jobs, which he did, even more so, got 16 million jobs that 3 million jobs are lost under Trump, 21 million more people with health care, $7 billion in infrastructure just for Wisconsin alone. And as Joe Biden said last night in what I thought was a wonderful speech, a great political capstone to 50 years of public service, and he said you can't have a strong economy without a strong infrastructure. And in Wisconsin, we used to have that. Governor Tommy Thompson was all about building things all over the state. Some of us might say he built a few too many prisons, but he was about building roads and building things all over the state. We need to invest money. When you invest money in infrastructure, it means that businesses can do things. It means that people have money and good jobs, and they spend money, and we will have the strongest economy, not just in the Midwest, but in the United States.
Scott Ross is with us here at the United Center. Scott, I talked to two delegates walking in, one from Alaska, one from Hawaii, ironically, and they were disappointed with Biden's speech last night. They said that they wanted to cry, and they wanted to hug, and they wanted to reminisce, and that they got a lot of policy, almost like it was a State of the Union speech.
Yeah, I took a couple notes on that because I was watching it. I actually watched it from my hotel room last night because I decided I wanted to try. You talked a little bit earlier about the crowd and getting out and stuff. So I beat feet and I walked an hour to get to the subway around the United Center and through all the security, and I ended up getting back there in time. But I thought the interesting thing, and I think the thing that sort of tied up who Joe Biden is, was that his daughter Ashley introduced him. He came up and he literally dabbed tears from his eyes. And
he did, but after that, then, Scott, it seemed like a lot of policy.
It was because he has to make that he wanted to make that contrast. So I get it, okay. but I understand. It also was kind of late, for that too. And so there might have been, I think we were talking a little bit earlier. Abraham Lincoln said, "I never heard a short speech I didn't like." And so I thought it was a powerful speech, and I was willing to give him his due. And I do think, interestingly enough, that 11 minutes of applause that happened at the beginning, I do think that will be the longest applause we'll have here. And I think it was appropriate for Joe Biden. Here's the thing about the Democratic Party. People are always looking for something. Some people are looking to be disappointed. We've got something for everybody in the Dem Party. It's a Big Ten. Everybody can jump in.
Can you believe the cheeseheads? We can see the cheeseheads right now. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
And there's going to be some walk-up music for each state. Do you have any insight, or do you have a hope of what song you'd like.
Give us the scoop, Scott.
So I was here on Sunday, and we were, on the floor. Like, it'd be on the floor, and hearing they were doing a run through, and they were doing the test music for different walk-up for different states. Jason Ray, actually from Wisconsin, who's the secretary of the DNC, was up there reading the names, and then people would test their mics in the stands. And I said to the guy next to me, I was like, I wonder if it'll be the Violent Femmes for Wisconsin. He said, well, as long as it's not Steve Miller, Madison.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what they should do? They should pull a wild card, play some Liberace.
Oh, was Fox Valley or what? The Bodines, maybe the Bodines.
Yes.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be maybe it'll be the song we hear at the Badger games.
Yeah,
exactly. Jump around.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, once that happens, if you've been at Camp Randall, it's seriously like an earthquake.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would bring down the house.
Yeah. Scott Ross is a key Democratic strategist. We sure appreciate you being with us, Scott.
Yes.
This is fun. Thanks for making time for us.
Absolutely. It was a real pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It is 4:43 at WTMJ. We check your roads up next.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Some of the moviegoers come into the theater and roll their eyes and complain at $7 sodas. What do you say to that customer?
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
I agree with them. It does seem, you look at it, you go, God, that's expensive. Yeah.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Hey, John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. They can take your yard and make it beautiful, take your beautiful yard and take it to the next level. That's what happened with my yard. I always thought I liked my yard. I really didn't now that I see what Landworks Wisconsin did. They transformed my space. It's the nicest yard in the neighborhood at Landworks. Ideas that are fresh, solutions that stand the test of time. Joe, the guy who headed my project, fantastic. Manny and his crew, the work they did in my yard and the care that they took every single day. They can do big projects. They can do small projects. They can do landscaping or hardscaping. They'll do your project no matter the size and do it right. They're enthusiastic and experienced. I love these guys. It's Landworks Wisconsin. Check them out today. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Our southern border is in chaos, with drugs and criminals flowing into our country. But sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrants who commit crimes from being deported. Like an illegal immigrant arrested for battery in Madison. He should have been deported. Instead, he was released back into the community and went on to assault several more women, including a 13-year-old girl. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted 9 times to support federal funding for sanctuary cities that refuse to cooperate with immigration officials and release these dangerous criminals back onto our streets. And Senator Baldwin voted for amnesty for 11 million illegals, including convicted criminals. Call Senator Baldwin, 608-264-5338. Urge her to support S-1068, the Stop Dangerous Sanctuary Cities Act. Stop protecting illegal immigrants and start protecting Wisconsin. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends Milwaukee County. I wanted to give you a heads up about the best and biggest sale for children and teens. It happens just twice a year. So this one, Just Between Friends Milwaukee County, is happening next month. Mark your calendars. Thursday, September 19th through Sunday, September 22nd on the Wisconsin State Fair Expo Center grounds right on Greenfield Avenue. You'll find gently used clothing, toys, equipment for your growing family at 90% off the retail price. Everything is like brand new. So here's some things that you should never buy new. Strollers, books, infant essentials, toys, clothing, all of it is there. Start now at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. You won't want to miss it.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads. It's Debbie Lozica. Hey, Deb, how are the roads looking?
Hey, Julia. Things are getting a little bit more complicated now. 41 southbound, just south of Main Street, Menominee Falls. The two left lanes are blocked with a crash. So that means we've got delays pretty much stretching back for about 2 miles from beyond Pilgrim Road. So just give yourself some extra time there. We've also got an accident off the freeway system, but near it. It's on 241 or 27th Street southbound at Botsford Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked with a crash. This is just north of 894, where, by the way, westbound is backed up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Loomis. We've also got some delays along southbound 4394 coming through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge. Right about just south of Beecher, we've got an accident off on the right shoulder that's going to be adding to the complications there. So giving yourself extra time would be a good idea. Keep your eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, mainly clear, cool, a low of 54 at the lake, 44 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful. Pick date, wonderful, a high of 77. Thursday, mostly sunny and beautiful, again, a high of 75. Friday, partly cloudy and warmer, 80 degrees. Saturday, even warmer and humid, partly cloudy, high of 86 degrees.
All right, some breaking news that we're trying to track down here from the United Center. There are reports that there's a heavy police presence a few blocks from the United Center. There's a SWAT team in full tactical gear. There's an armored SWAT vehicle. This is just a couple blocks from here. And a source is saying that there's a barricaded gunman in a store at the corner of Madison and Western. That is not very far from here.
That's really close. Oh, my gosh. That's right by us.
So we will continue to
and it's a
keep
man
an eye on that.
It's a man with a...
The report is that there's a gunman barricaded in a store. So, and multiple sources are reporting that there is a very heavy police presence there. So right now in the arena, everything feels normal. People are still streaming in. We will keep you updated if any of that changes. Want to check in with our guy, our friend Anthony Chergosky, UW La Crosse political science professor, who is with us. Anthony, so good to catch up with you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
I suppose we have to start with not what's happening here in the arena, but what's going to be happening in Milwaukee, 90 miles from here. This just is so surprising to me that Kamala Harris, on the night that President Obama and Michelle Obama will speak in Chicago, their hometown, will be listening to that speech in Fiserv Forum, presumably with some supporters. What do you make of this?
Well, it just shows that the map of this election has not changed all that much since Harris entered the campaign. I mean, sure, some states have entered the picture as, you know, those toss-up states again, states that were slipping away from Biden, like Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. Those states were really trending in the wrong direction for Biden, but Harris has brought those states back into play. But what hasn't changed is that Wisconsin is that 50-50 state. That was the case when Biden was in the campaign. It's still the case with Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket. The campaigns are all well aware that Wisconsin remains front and center in the electoral map. So we've got Harris here in Milwaukee, just as we've got the Obamas in Chicago. It is quite a split screen.
So I wanted to ask you, related to this strategy, is J.D. Vance is in Wisconsin today, too, and it comes after they were both in Eau Claire recently, Democrats and Republicans on the ticket. That bracketing strategy that the Trump-Vance team seems to be employing, does that work? Is that partly about intimidation? It seems more than just we want to be in Wisconsin. I mean, J.D. Vance went up to Kamala Harris's plane in Eau Claire and used it as an opportunity to say, this is going to be my plane. Where is she? Can you talk about the bracketing strategy that campaigns employ?
Sure. It's a battle over the news cycle. Essentially, the Republican side does not want the Harris ticket to go unanswered. while it is campaigning in Milwaukee. They want to be part of that conversation while the Harris team is on the ground in Wisconsin. Now, Vance has his own challenges because his polling numbers have not trended in the direction that the Trump team would like. Still, it just is not the case that running mates make a big have a huge effect on voters. So although Vance's numbers are not great, I doubt that it could make much of a difference in the election outcome. And he is playing that classic attack dog role as running mate, following Harris and Walz around the nation and trying to break through that news cycle while the Harris and Walz team is campaigning for the presidency.
You know, what this night also means is probably a lot for the Harris-Walz campaign because it took so long, John, for him to come out and actually formally endorse. And remember, it was like that pre-produced video where they're on the speakerphone with Obama and Michelle, and now they're both coming out. So, Anthony, how big of a deal is it for basically, you know, the biggest Democrat, Obama, both of the Obamas, to come out today and talk? How crucial is that tonight?
It's so interesting, Julia, how after presidents leave office, they often become more popular. A Gallup poll conducted last summer found that 63% of Americans approve of the way that Obama handled his job as president. Now, Obama did not have a 63% approval rating for much of his presidency, so he's gotten more popular since he left office. He is widely liked among the Democratic Party and even among people outside of the Democratic Party. So Obama's this popular figure, and his presence could matter in the DNC. And on that note of former presidents, I have to observe that George W. Bush was not part of the Republican National Convention. Like Obama, his numbers have improved since he left office, but the Republican Party and Donald Trump are just not in alignment with the Bush presidency. They spoke out, in fact, against some of the Bush records. So it's striking to see how the parties are handling the former presidents of their parties.
Anthony Chergosky is with us, UW lacrosse professor. All right, so Patti LaBelle rehearsed here earlier today. Rapper Common was here earlier today. James Taylor rehearsed yesterday and then got cut, Anthony. I know it's not fair, but he got cut, wasn't in the program, and there are rumors that Beyonce will definitely be here. So Anthony Chergosky, one of the brightest political minds in our state and a pop culture expert. You rate these for us. Who would you like to see? Rate these from 1 to 4. Put them in your order of preference, with 1 being, oh my gosh, I want to be there. Patti LaBelle, the rapper Common, James Taylor, and Beyonce.
I've got to go Beyonce number 1, but since I went to school at the University of North Carolina, I've got to put James Taylor right up there. And, John, I am bitter that he got bounced from the convention last night because things were just going so late. They dragged on and on. How do you bump James Taylor, of all people? You got to bump someone else. And he sounded great in the rehearsal. He was singing his song, you know, about friends and You Got a Friend in Me, and then he got kicked to the curb. It was so unfair.
I know.
All right, Chergosky's down for Beyonce. What if Taylor Swift was on the list? Where would she rank?
She'd go right to the top, John.
Oh, I think so, too. And I think, Anthony, seriously, you and I have talked about endorsements before. She is one of the few that seems like she could really move the needle. We talked about that yesterday, didn't we? I mean, she could really make a difference.
Yeah, with those young voters, John, I think we just have to pay so much attention to where young voters are, because the younger part of the electorate was so disengaged when Biden was in the race. The younger people just had really soured on Biden. He wasn't connecting with them because they couldn't identify with him, or they didn't like his policies, or some combination of the two. So if Harris can get the younger voters re-engaged, then that could be big for the campaign, and some key endorsements might play a role in that.
All right, Chergosky is Team Beyonce. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Anthony. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a good guy. It's 4:56.
Yeah. It's so important to get his perspective as well, because he's on the western part of our state, and we need to hear from all of Wisconsin. He gives us such great perspective.
And he's right where Walz borders our state. So could Walz, the governor, have an influence in western Wisconsin? I guess we'll see. Here's your business headlines.
Yummy Bones Barbecue opens August 20th at Crossroads Collective Food Hall on Milwaukee's east side. The Southern-style menu includes ribs, chicken, brisket, wings, and more. Clarios International out of Glendale invest about $220 million to expand production of advanced batteries at plants in Europe. The privately held company said the project will boost its capacity by 50% in the region and create 150 jobs there. A plan advances to transform vacant city lots in Milwaukee into an outdoor art gallery, eco-friendly garden, community space, and potentially a mixed-use development. Milwaukee's Plan Commission on Monday approved rezoning for the project. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Brought to you by the Pfister Hotel. Check them out. PfisterHotel.com.
30 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Wells Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Let me tell you about the Fox and Hounds. What I love about the Fox and Hounds is it's always buy one, get one free. It's that simple. There's no gimmicks, no coupons. You put your seats in the seats and you only pay for half of the dinners. It's really that easy at the Fox and Hounds. So you get that steak, the ribs, the seafood, the pasta dishes, even the steak and lobster or the prime rib. It's always buy one dinner, get one dinner free. And the location is absolutely fantastic. It's stunning and gorgeous. It's right near Holy Hill. And check out the patio in the woods. I actually go early sometimes just to have a cocktail in the patio in the woods. It's stunning. There's wildlife. It's just a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere. It's the best service, the best selection, and that value with buy one, get one free. You can't beat that. As a matter of fact, desserts are also always buy one, get one free. I always go for the carrot cake. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
Driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal, and law enforcement officers can tell if you're driving high. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Some things can't be argued. Miller is better than Busch, and the Brewers are better than the Cardinals.
He's there, he makes the catch, and this ballgame is over. The Brewers take down the Cardinals.
Our coverage of the matchup begins tonight at 6:10. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Jessica Gatso. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Tuesday, August 20th. Your top story, Democratic support split between Chicago and Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and that earlier accident on 41 southbound, south of Main Street, Menominee Falls, has been cleared. Delays have not, though. Got some pretty extensive ones right past that area, so be careful with that. We do have another accident on 4394 on the southbound side, just past Beecher. It's It's off on the right shoulder, so that's backing things up into the Marquette, actually from before that, all the way down from North Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound 43 is heavy as well from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. And off the freeway system, 27th Street southbound at Botsford Avenue, we do have an accident off on the right shoulder as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mainly clear skies and cool, a low of 54 by the lake and 44 degrees inland. On Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 73 by the lake and 77 inland. At 5:01, it's 70 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the DNC carries on tonight without Kamala Harris. She'll be here in Milwaukee instead for a rally and watch party with running mate Tim Walz. It's a move that puts our city in the national spotlight once again.
Having the vice president come to Milwaukee and Governor Walz just showcases the importance of not just the city, but the entire state of Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson joined Wisconsin's Midday News ahead of the Harris rally. He thinks the unique decision to be in Bruce City on day 2 of the DNC goes back to 2020.
Milwaukee and Wisconsin, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick here with COVID in 2020. So this will be an opportunity for the Democrats to say, hey, we see you. We understand that it didn't pan out the way that all of us wanted it to in 2020. So here is some limelight during the DNC in 2024.
Mayor Johnson expects thousands of people to fill up Pfizer Forum, the same arena the GOP packed just last month for the Republican National Convention. Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers tells WTMJ he plans to stay in Chicago tonight for the ceremonial roll call rather than head up to Wisconsin for the Harris-Walz rally.
Somebody's got to do the hard work. It's going to be great. We're going to hear from what's going on back in Wisconsin, and the people that we're going to be talking tonight are just going to be super. The energy is just unbelievable.
Governor Evers is one of 95 delegates representing Wisconsin at the DNC. In Chicago, former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama are among those set to take the stage tonight at the DNC. ABC's Jim O'Brien in Chicago.
They've moved up the start time in order to have some of those speakers more in prime time. Obviously, the Obamas, highly anticipated, but also second gentleman Doug Emhoff, a sign that the festivities tonight have turned from last night being about Joe Biden to tonight being about Kamala Harris.
For the Republican Party, former President Donald Trump was in the battleground state of Michigan today, day 2 of counter-programming to the Democrats' convention. CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
Trump is in the middle of a battleground state blitz, one of his biggest campaign weeks this year, while the Democratic National Convention is underway. Over the next few days, he's scheduled to hold events in North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada.
A bicyclist dies after being hit by a train. The incident happened this afternoon at the railroad crossing at South Silver Lake Street in downtown Oconomowoc. Several railroad crossings at South Cross Street, South Main Street, and South Worthington Street are closed during the investigation. Attention commuters, keep an eye out for detours in Racine County. Both directions of the Wisconsin 38 bridge over the Root River in Mount Pleasant are closed today and tomorrow. Drivers can use alternate routes on Wisconsin 31, County Highway C, or Spring Street and Memorial Drive. Coming up, QR codes seem to be popping up everywhere, and the surprising place you can expect to see them next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:06. QR codes seem to be popping up everywhere, even on menus, but you've never seen them on a football helmet before. CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz says that will change later this month.
Oklahoma State players will wear helmets with the codes this season, beginning with the season opener against South Dakota State on August 31st. The codes will link to the General Team Fund to increase the program's name, image, and likeness money pool. The school thinks this is the first time a college football team will wear QR codes during regular season games. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Fans in the stands won't be able to see the QR codes, but they're expected to be visible on close-up shots during TV broadcasts. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Back to work for the Brewers tonight in St. Louis for the first of 3 games against the second-place Cardinals. The Brewers begin the day 11 games ahead of the Cardinals for first place in the division. Coverage of tonight's game begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And the Packers welcome in the Baltimore Ravens for a joint practice on Thursday. The teams will wrap up the preseason schedule Saturday afternoon at Lambeau. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:08.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft, one of my favorite places. It's super affordable. The atmosphere is so much fun. As a matter of fact, it's big food and big fun. Today and every Tuesday, the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. Seriously, it's all your favorite authentic Mexican and all you can eat for $9.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room, quietly tucked aside from the dining area. You really should try the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. It's $9.99. It's delicious. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The cool and comfortable Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh with lots of seating. Just walk in today for your Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. The Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry is $6.99. Shut the front door. $6.99 from 11 a.m. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Now broadcasting live from the DNC at the United Center in downtown Chicago. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fellow.
We are super excited to be joined here in our United Center, perched by Ben Wickler. He's the chairman of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. Ben, good to see you.
It's so great to be with you today on WTMJ. It feels like being at home here in Chicago.
Okay, I want to ask this because I was trying to find out during the RNC what the swag bag is. You know what the swag bag was given out for the DNC. Tell me everything.
Ooh. So if you're a Wisconsin delegate, you have to run to become a delegate, go to the national convention. The core of it is you get to be right there as the vice president, accepts the nomination, but you also get this tote bag. And it has inside of it, first you think, oh my gosh, cheese, but it's actually cheese-shaped soap. And then you find the cheese. We have really good hooks. We have aged cheddar. We have really good cheddar. We have hand sanitizer, so before you eat your cheese, if you can't use your soap in the bathroom, then you can use the hand sanitizer to clean up your hands before you eat your cheese. And then you have a water bottle to wash it down. And then we have a variety of buttons. And for dessert, we have some old-fashioned chocolate candy pop.
This is so good. This is what you wanted to know.
I wanted to know this so
Ben, look across. We can see our delegation. You guys have a great spot. Wisconsin getting props and respect. They're right near the stage. Look at what do you see when you look over at your people over there?
You can see the cheese heads begin to amass. This is a very exciting moment for us. We've been saving our cheese heads until today when the roll call happens because we want them all to be spotless. We want to proudly display our cheese head pride here at the convention. And frankly, no other state has cheeseheads. So this is something that is particularly about us. Some other states have like cowboy hats with glowing lights and things like that, but they're not practical in the way that a cheesehead is, because you can wear a cheesehead in formal occasions, in business settings, in social occasions. It's a go anywhere kind of garment.
So some bum from Nebraska or New Hampshire wanted a cheesehead. What would the price be for you to give up your cheesehead?
It's like the things you can't buy with MasterCard. It's priceless.
Not going anywhere.
Can you just talk about how exciting the roll call is going to be? Like, this is what, when we saw the RNC and we're at the DNC, this is a democratic process. I know that this is just, ceremonial, but how much does it mean, and who is going to be the one that will say?
Well, I think it's not just ceremonial in this moment, because this is a group of delegates who originally ran to be pledged delegates for our nominee. And then our nominee, Joe Biden, made this selfless decision to not continue as the Democratic nominee. He endorsed Kamala Harris, but no delegate had to choose to vote for Kamala Harris. They have decided this is who they want to support. And I'm as a delegate myself, I remember that moment where I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm super excited about this. So there is a genuinely real aspect to what's happening out on the floor tonight, which is ultimately Vice President Harris had the majority of delegates very quickly. No one else applied to run to be considered as president. But that was because she unified the party. And so what you're going to see tonight is a party unified that didn't feel this unified a month ago, declaiming on the strength of all the primary voters who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris before. Then the delegates were released. The delegates all came together around Kamala Harris. This is a declaration of who we are as a Democratic Party. We want Harris and Walz to lead this party into the elections in November and to lead this country. And I think there will be a real sense of pride and of joy that you see ripple through state by state. Every state has a little speech that they prepared, and I think maybe I'm breaking news. I'm very excited for Governor Evers to be able to announce Wisconsin's delegates.
Oh, good.
Is he going to be jazzed as hell?
Oh, is he going to say that?
I don't know whether he's going to say he's jazzed as hell, but I have deep confidence that he will be jazzed as hell because he's been so excited this whole convention.
We've heard each delegation is going to have walk-on music. What's our song going to be?
If you've ever been to a Badgers game and you've ever had a moment where you get really excited, you might have an idea about what the song
that's
is.
so fun.
I'm not going to confirm or deny any specifics beyond that.
That's been a really closely guarded secret. We have not been able to find that out.
I love it.
Ben Wickler is the chair of the Democratic Party in Wisconsin. Thanks for climbing up here, and thanks for spending some time with us, Ben.
Delight to join you. It's going to be a great night.
It is. It is 5:13 at WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
One of the biggest innovations I've seen recently is the improvement in fabrics.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Stain-resistant fabrics, the pet-friendly fabrics, the kid-friendly fabrics that you can spill something on and clean it right up and it's gone. In years past, you spilled a glass of wine on something, it was done. There was no fixing that mistake ever. It was a new sofa time.
See, now me on the other hand, I'm thinking about that recliner that now has lumbar. I just push a button and, I get lumbar. And push a different button and my head comes forward. And the comfort that they're now building in furniture that wasn't there, 10 years ago. It's just amazing where that's gone.
Full extension drawers, that's been a big improvement. Right. So you don't have to dig back into your drawer to see what's in the back of it. Yep. The drawer comes all the way out.
Whereas 15 years ago, that wasn't used at all.
Well, we were one of the first ones to use it.
Yeah, we were on the cutting edge of that. Yeah, but now it's like everybody's using that. Not the quality ones we're using, but everybody's using some form of it.
See more at pennymustard.com.
There's still a lot of good things happening.
Small improvements all the time.
Yep. It's always something new and exciting.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
All right, traffic and weather. Let's check in with Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Well, we've got a new accident. It's on 43 southbound at Fond du Lac Avenue off on the left shoulder. So watch out for the delays heading through there. Beyond that, still stays heavy all the way down through the Marquette interchange. There's another accident on 4394 southbound south of Beecher off on the right shoulder. Northbound 43 heavy from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. And then on westbound 894, we got backups out of the Mitchell interchange pretty much past Loomis to about 58th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow, very pleasant, sunny, a high of 74. Thursday, sunny, a high of 77. Friday, a little bit of cloud cover, a high of 79. And on Saturday, warmer, partly sunny, a high of 85 degrees. Broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. We're inside the United Center. It's really beginning to fill up. And I look across now, I can see our Wisconsin delegation. They are stage right, the closest section to the stage to the right. Good spot, and the cheeseheads are out. They're wearing the cheeseheads tonight. The roll call will take place, the part that you always see on TV where the states pledge their delegates. And we'll have cheeseheads, front and center. It's not just the Democrats, though. Vance, J.D. Vance in Kenosha today, and we had a chance to listen to J.D. Vance talking at the Kenosha County Courthouse. Let's play some of that audio. This is J.D. Vance earlier today.
Saw it with the riots in Kenosha in the summer of 2020. Wisconsin has suffered when you don't have good, smart, pro-public safety leadership. And that's what Donald Trump and I want to bring back to the White House is back in the blue, supporting our police officers and making sure that public safety is the birthright of every American citizen. I think that message, that shared economic and public safety message, is going to bring Wisconsin home to Republicans in 2024, and it's going to make Donald Trump the President of the United States again. So, yes, it's very important. I also say, when my kids came up here for the RNC convention 4 or 5 weeks ago, the one place they really wanted to go was the Cheese Castle. So, if you've all, how many of you have been to the Cheese Castle? So my kids have been to the Cheese Castle. The first time I ever came to Wisconsin was 12 years ago with my then girlfriend, now my wife. We made our stop at the Wisconsin Cheese Castle, so every time we come back, we got to stop at the Wisconsin Cheese Castle. But it's good to be here, and we love this state.
It's the Mars Cheese Castle. We did a show from there once, actually, and it was really fun.
I know. Well,
that's a really cool place.
And what a wide-ranging topic. He goes from that to
right.
Mars Cheese Castle.
And we did not edit that. That is like he went from one topic to the next topic. By the way, Kamala Harris in Wisconsin, as well as you have heard by now, she will give a rally tonight at Fiserv Forum and then stay there 90 miles away to watch the speech of the Obamas, which will take place right here where we are in Chicago. Then she'll get on an airplane and make that 16 or 17-minute flight back to Chicago, where she will stay the night.
Wow.
There's a lot going on. You can hear now the program is about to start in 10 minutes here. The announcement just coming over, asking delegates to take their seats. That's a half an hour earlier than yesterday. And so delegates being asked to take their seats. The stage has been cleared inside the United Center. The program about to get underway. Coming up, I had the chance to talk to the only guy who decided to run against Joe Biden in the primary on the Democratic side, and he actually got some delegate votes. He's here today. Didn't think he would be. My conversation with Congressman Dean Phillips up next.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Who do you support?
I'm sorry?
I want to know which side you support.
Oh, we support the right.
Ah.
And the left.
What?
The front and back, too.
I don't understand.
No matter which side you sleep on, we support you. And right now, we're providing extra support.
How's that?
Purchase a new Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, or Serta Perfect Sleeper through Monday and get a strong, supportive box spring free.
Oh.
Shop an employee-free showroom and get a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove Sea Queen mattress. Others sell it for $1,000, $799. But Hassellus has it for just $942. Check out the super low pricing on Sealy Posturepedic and Serta Perfect Sleeper too.
Wow.
Plus, free next day delivery and haul away of your old mattress.
And a free box spring?
Yes, because you deserve our full support.
Well, you got my vote.
Now through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstad here. I absolutely love Wisconsin this time of year. It's absolutely heaven, especially on a lake, especially after a swim perhaps, or maybe even water skiing. But again, you know how that goes. You do something like that, then the joint pain really starts to act up. The knees really start to bark. And you know you want to take care of it, but you don't want surgery. Well, there is another way. QC Kinetics. There's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief in your joints, and the place to go is QC Kinetics, using cutting-edge treatments, but no surgery, no drugs. And here's the best part, no downtime. You can get right back to work the day of your treatment. Call QC Kinetics today and find out what they can do for you. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. This is the future of medicine. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
John and Julia inside the Democratic National Convention in the United Center in Chicago. In 5 minutes, the program gets underway tonight. There will be a call to order by the Honorable Jamie Harrison, and then they'll gavel in. Then there will be a prayer, and then shortly after that is the roll call of the state. So Julie and I are here and will be throughout the course of the night to let you know what happens moving forward. So I had the opportunity earlier today. I was walking through the atrium here, and you never know who you're going to see, and I saw the corner of my eye a guy that I recognized, and it is Dean Phillips. Congressman Dean Phillips, who's announced that he's not running for re-election. He's in Minnesota. He's the only guy that stood and fought with Joe Biden in the Democratic primaries and actually got 4 delegates. He said he wasn't even going to be here initially, but now he is here. This is my conversation with Congressman Dean Phillips.
Kamala Harris is going to be there tonight.
Of course.
What does that say about the importance of Wisconsin, your neighboring state, that she will be there tonight?
Yeah, well, like in politics, like anything else, it's not look at what I say, look at what I do. And you'll see, I think, in this whole campaign, both the Trump and Harris campaign spent a lot of time in Wisconsin, a lot of time in Pennsylvania, of course, Michigan and others. And it says a lot. And I happen to be from a family that came to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and had a home base in Eau Claire before moving to Minnesota. So I have great appreciation for how important the Wisconsin electorate is, and I think you're going to see a lot of candidates spending a lot of time there, both top of the ticket and vice presidents.
So you're familiar with the western part of our state?
Sure.
Tim Walz is on TV in the northwestern part of our state as the governor of Minnesota. Does that help the Harris-Walz ticket in Wisconsin? Do you believe that some of Wisconsin is familiar with Tim Walz?
There's no question name recognition goes a long ways in politics. But I think what really matters is a candidate's ability to listen and reflect the values and principles and needs of the electorate. And I think Tim Walz, having represented a rural Minnesota district, understands elements of the Wisconsin electorate that probably others wouldn't. And he knows how to plow his driveway and fix his lawnmower, for gosh sakes. His superpower, if he has, and I think he's got a number, but his best is his normalness. And if he was standing right next to me now, I think people would feel that. Tells dad jokes, good dad, National Guardsman, a teacher, a football coach, former member of Congress, now governor. He's really, I think he's a wonderful man. Will add a lot to this ticket. And I think it was a very sound choice. And as you might know, if he wins, they win. He'd be the third Minnesota Democratic vice president of the last 6 Democratic vice presidents. So in Minnesota, yeah, when kids are born, we put them on our laps and say, one day you too could be vice president of the United States.
You've been critical of this process at times, but you are here in Chicago. What do you say to those who say, wow, we didn't know if you would show up here?
Yeah, I'll be forthright. I was planning to not attend and decided just before the convention I would. And I'm so glad I did, because it's a capstone to my career in Congress, to this journey I endured some pain and a lot of rain to get to the rainbow, if you will. But I have to tell you, the way I've been received with some hugs and high fives and a lot of handshakes is a reminder that this party still has space for dissent. And I would argue we need to do better. And all of American politicians should be more accommodating of those who have different opinions and perspectives, and parties shouldn't punish those with courage. I think they should start rewarding it. But it's voters, and I'll repeat, it's voters that ultimately hold those cards, and we can't be a country in which only 1 in 10 vote in primaries and those just vote in general elections think they're doing their job. We got to start participating, because that's the vitamin of democracy.
Congressman, thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks.
So that is Dean Phillips, the guy who stood and fought and said, I don't know if Joe Biden's the right guy. I don't know what we're doing here. And he decided at the last minute to actually show up here in Chicago, and he's in the United Center. From Minnesota, of course, right next door to us.
I know, it's incredible you got him.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation. He's a very, very interesting guy. All right, the session's about to start here, so you're going to start to hear some of that in the background. By the way, if you want to hear that Dean interview, and you want to see a little article about it for more background, text the word Dean, D-E-A-N. Text the word Dean to 414-855, 414-655-1620.
855-61620.
Let's try that again. 855-616-1620. See when you're not in the studio and you don't have everything in front of you?
And it's Dean, D-E-A-N.
To 855-616-1620, and you get all the information. All right, things are about to get rolling here. We're going to have news at the bottom of the hour, then our weather. Spoiler alert, it's going to be gorgeous. That's all straight ahead on WTMJ.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and folks who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations.
Hi, Vince. Great to be here.
So last time, Jeff, we were talking about insurance programs that have gaps or they're not properly designed and how that can trigger a devastating financial loss for a business. You called that balance sheet events. What are some of the common mistakes you see businesses making?
Vince, contracts are a big concern. Just the other day, we were with a new prospective client, and the owners were concerned they had issues with the contracts they were signing and the contracts that they were using. It's important to understand what those contracts are attempting to do.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What kind of contracts?
Vince, we look at vendor contracts, lease agreements for equipment, and lease agreements for property. Many times, these contracts are trying to shift responsibilities and liabilities to your organization for certain events. Most contracts also include an insurance requirements clause. Many times, we identify where businesses are out of compliance. It's a big issue. The contract requires X. The business has Y. You're out of compliance.
Jeff, what else have you been discovering?
Another coverage that's frequently misunderstood and frequently improperly calculated is business income and extra expense insurance. The limits are too low, the duration's too short, and there's no dependent property coverage.
Sounds like if you're not working with the right team of insurance professionals, it can cost you. So why should a business work with R&R Insurance?
Because R&R Insurance can take these balance sheet events off the table and give business owners peace of mind. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information at myknowledgebroker.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, Milwaukee back in the spotlight ahead of night 2 of the DNC. I'm Debbie Lazica. Southbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. We've got an accident. It is off on the left shoulder. A couple cars and a squad. So just be careful as you're heading past that scene. The northbound side's heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. We've also got an accident, 4394 southbound, just south of Beecher. It's off on the right shoulder there. Westbound 94, heavy from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then you're back on the brakes from Highway 100 crossing into Waukesha County. And then again, slow from just west of Barker Road all the way through to Highway 164. Eastbound's heavy from Meadowbrook Road all the way through to Highway 16. And then again from Barker Road to about Brookfield Road. And then again from the zoo all the way through the stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mainly clear skies and cool. A low of 54 by the lake and 44 inland. Wednesday, mostly sunny. A high of 73 by the lake and 77 inland. At 5:31, it's 69 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Night 2 of the DNC continues without Kamala Harris. She's here in Milwaukee instead for a rally and watch party with running mate Tim Walz. It's a move that puts our city in the national spotlight once again.
Having the vice president come to Milwaukee and Governor Walz just showcases the importance of not just the city, but the entire state of Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson joined Wisconsin's Midday News ahead of the Harris rally. He thinks the unique decision to be in Bruce City on day 2 of the DNC goes back to 2020.
Milwaukee and Wisconsin, unfortunately, got the short end of the stick here with COVID in 2020. So this will be an opportunity for the Democrats to say, hey, we see you. We understand that it didn't pan out the way that all of us wanted it to in 2020. So here is some limelight during the DNC in 2024.
Mayor Johnson expects thousands of people to fill up Pfizer Forum, the same arena the GOP packed just last month for the Republican National Convention. Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Mayor Johnson takes the stage at the DNC tomorrow. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump was in the battleground state of Michigan today for day 2 of counter-programming to the Democrats' convention. CBS's Natalie Brand reports his VP nominee is also on the road.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is campaigning in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
You saw with the riots in Kenosha in the summer of 2020, Wisconsin has suffered when you don't have good, smart, pro-public safety leadership. And that's what Donald Trump and I want to bring back to the White House.
It was this week 4 years ago that a controversial police shooting drew civil unrest in the city after Jacob Blake, a father of 3, was shot 7 times in the back by police and left paralyzed.
New rumors in the case of a missing toddler prompt Two Rivers police to announce 3-year-old Elijah Vu has not been found. It's been 6 months since he was reported missing. Police say recent rumors online and on social media are all scams. This includes a fake GoFundMe page. They continue to use rescue groups searching by land, water, and air. Vu's mother, Katrina Bauer, and her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, are both charged with felony child neglect, but not with Vu's disappearance. They're both still in jail and due back in court in October. A bicyclist dies after being hit by a train. The incident happened this afternoon at the railroad crossing at South Silver Lake Street in downtown Oconomowoc. Several railroad crossings at South Cross Street, South Main Street, and South Worthington Street are closed during the investigation. If you're driving home from work right now, make sure that seatbelt is buckled. Germantown police are partnering with Jackson and Kewaskum police today looking for seatbelt violations. Wisconsin requires that all riders wear a seatbelt in a moving vehicle. On average, every 47 minutes, someone not wearing a seatbelt dies in a crash. Bus Rapid Transit is coming to Madison. Larger, all-electric buses and dedicated bus-only lanes will run the Rapid Route A starting in September. That route will run from East Town Mall to Junction Road on the far west side, with buses running approximately every 15 minutes most of the day. Planning for a second BRT route running north to south is underway and hoping to launch 2028. Nearly 5 months after a glitch-filled opening day debut, the Brewers will try again with their new parking system.
This type of technology is a game changer.
The Brewers' Tyler Barnes announcing when the crew returns home next week Tuesday, fans will drive right into the lots, pay after parking by scanning posted QR codes. The tech was an epic fail on opening day, but Barnes says the team is confident it's ready to go.
We have been testing it in certain lots. And the last series that we just played, there was testing in multiple lots. And really, the system worked flawlessly.
He hit the ground running.
Brewers will stick with the traditional parking method for this weekend's Green Day concert. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Like a neon light.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers baseball returns to the WTMJ airwaves tonight. The Brewers begin a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. Coverage of tonight's game starts with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ. The Packers welcome in the Baltimore Ravens for a joint practice on Thursday. The teams will wrap up the preseason schedule Saturday afternoon at Lambeau. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:35.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing, it's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Now open in Wauwatosa.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely baseball season. This is your place to catch every pitch.
Here it is. He struck him out swinging.
Home run.
Going back onto the track. It is gone. Mike Brasso goes deep.
And everything in between.
I want to find that tape. We got to find that tape. We'd be better off listening to adhesive tape.
We are the home of the Brewers on WTMJ. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Oh my gosh, a powerful moment here at the Democratic National Convention. The national anthem was just sung. I really appreciate what the sign language people do, but there's something about when they're signing the national anthem. I always feel this way. When someone's belting out the anthem and you can see it in their face, and then the sign language guys are signing the anthem, I just think that's really, really cool.
They're feeling it too.
So things are underway here at the United Center. We're going to give you the lineup coming up before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. But the program is underway. The headliners tonight are Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and they will talk. They're scheduled to talk at 10 o'clock. They're not even scheduled to begin until 10 o'clock. So it's funny because network coverage on TV says that they will go until 10 o'clock, and Barack Obama won't even speak until 10 o'clock. Let's bring in our friend, Chief Meteorologist Brian Nansky.
Who will be up very late tonight.
Yeah, Niz,
that sounds like a late night for me.
Last night was a late night. Last night was a really late night.
Oh my gosh!
Wasn't it?
When did you go on, Niz? Last night.
I was off last night, thankfully.
I think the news went on at like 11:15 or 11:30. It started.
Oh, Patti LaBelle's coming out right now.
Oh boy.
She brought down the
Can we
house.
tell everybody? Can we tell everybody to speed it up so I don't have to be on at 11:15?
Yes,
No, just joking.
that is very late. Plus, think about it on the East Coast, Niz. It's like after midnight.
Past midnight.
They're blowing their own convention because people are in bed. I talked to somebody out east who said they didn't stay up for the Biden speech because it was just too late.
Yeah,
that's really late.
On a Monday night, who's up at midnight? I mean, unless
that's
like you don't
really
have
late.
to work the next day.
I wish you could be here to see this. Despite the politics, I felt the same way at the RNC. The spectacle and the things we do for our democracy are amazing. Just to see this and to hear it and to have this front row seat is really remarkable. Patti LaBelle looks great.
United Center, great facility.
It is. Have you ever been here for a game?
I've been there for a game, and it's if maybe you guys have already discussed this, but it's substantially larger than Pfizer Forum.
Yes.
It is just it's a bigger venue. I want to say 20-something thousand. You know,
that's a good question
for a basketball game. Yeah.
But it's interesting, Niz, because at Pfizer, they had most of the delegates on the floor. They were able to build out the floor in a way that they accommodated them. Here, most of the delegates are in the stands. The floor footprint is actually smaller, but the building is enormous.
Yeah, I didn't like that, John, but now that I'm seeing it in person, it looks pretty cool. Oh, she's
It shows well on. Yeah.
Is she 80?
It shows well on TV also.
Yeah, you're right,
Doesn't
Niz.
it?
You're right. Hey, you know what else
It
is
does,
showing
when you-
well? How beautiful the weather is, Niz. I mean, I was outside a lot down here trying to collect audio. Stunning. Same kind of weather in Milwaukee.
Fantastic. I mean, the RNC for the most part had really good weather too. A couple hotter days, but then very comfortable. And it really looks like for the DNC, they're going to have some beautiful weather in Chicago and here in Milwaukee as well. Looks like a lot of sunshine this week, guys.
So what's the average high and low this time of year?
The average high is 80, and the average low is 64. So today we were 12 degrees cooler than the average high. I think we got to 68 degrees, so definitely like a little bit of a hint of fall in the forecast, which tonight, lows are going to bottom out inland into the 40s, guys. There's going to be many spots falling into the 40s. So while we've opened our windows up, you might be closing them if you're inland tonight.
All right, lead us through with some detail, Niz, tonight and into the next 5 days.
Absolutely. I got some good background music for it, too. Mainly clear skies, low temperature of 54 in Milwaukee, 44 degrees in inland. Julia, I could hardly tell the difference. Wednesday, mostly sunny and beautiful, 73 lakeside, 77 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, beautiful, 75. Friday, partly cloudy, warmer, a high of 80. Saturday, warm again, and a high temperature of 86 degrees.
All right, Niz, I'm just mesmerized by what's happening on the stage here. It's remarkable. And our weather is also mesmerizing. Niz, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Good week, guys. Have fun. See you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Patti LaBelle just crushed it.
Oh, my gosh.
That is unbelievable. Goosebumps, right?
Oh, yeah. Everything stood still.
Wow.
She is a magnet. She was born to heal people with her voice.
And they're out of their seats. Everybody is out of their seats. It's interesting, like half of the Wisconsin delegation's here. I'm not sure where the other half is. Look, you can see our section over there. And it's easy to tell because of the cheeseheads.
I know.
Come on, let's fill it up. Let's go.
Yeah, that's not good optics.
Let's go.
We got to have a good Wrangler.
Yeah. Paul Farrow. Where's Paul Farrow when you need him?
Totally.
They should have paid Paul Farrow to come here and be the whip. Bring in his orange hat. He doesn't get to vote or anything, but he just gets everybody where they're supposed to be. All right, we're going to take a break. Debbie's going to help get you home up next, and we're going to set the stage for what is happening tonight. Plus, the guy who's going to read our roll call talked to Kristen Bry earlier. You'll hear that as well. We'll be right back.
Listen to Spanning the State with Kristen Bry.
Constitutional amendments are commonly used when there is divided government, and changing our Constitution and also putting it up for a vote when these questions are worded so poorly, that frustrates me.
And Brian Noonan.
And then all of a sudden, Joe Biden decides he's not going to seek the nomination. Now what are we going to do? You're scrambling to try to define a message, and then the former president just reverts back to his normal character.
Only on WTMJ.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Let me tell you about Griffin Automotive. They are the best. Whether you're talking Griffin Chevrolet, Griffin Ford, or Griffin Hub on the south side, absolutely the best. How do I know? I've bought my last 2 cars from Griffin. One was at the Chevy store in the Metro Automall. The other was at the Ford store in Waukesha. Easy to get to, both of them. Huge selection. You know that F-50 truck? Man, people love that, right? Like the F-150, the F-250. They've got a ton of them in stock with all the colors, all the trim packages, all the different selections. They are big time loaded for you to go at the Ford store in Waukesha. Last car I bought was a Chevy Blazer. Bought that at the Metro Automall Chevy store. And you know what? Both of those places have great service, top-tier service. They're going to take care of you. They're going to make it easy. They're going to pick you up. They're going to take you home. They're going to do whatever they need to at Griffin to make sure that you are well taken care of. It's Jim Griffin in charge. It's excellent teams at all the locations. It's Griffin Automotive.
Now is the best time to sell your home. Market is ripe, and Grandview Homes will pay more now than ever before. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it, and we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic. Let's get to Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've got still this accident on 43 southbound it was right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. It's off on the left shoulder, so just a car and a squad left over with this. The rest of it looking pretty good until you hit the Marquette. Then you're going to slow down out of the Marquette. There's an accident just past Beecher, still being worked on, out of traffic there. Northbound 43, slow from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keith. Westbound 94, we're seeing delays from about 16th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Also have a blocked right shoulder because of a broken down vehicle right at Highway 175. Eastbound 94, watch for delays from 84th Street all the way to about 27th Street. While you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
John and Julia broadcasting live from the Democratic National Convention. We are inside the United Center. It's beginning to fill up. The Wisconsin delegates are in their chairs, by and large. All the delegations, it's kind of fun. I can see right across from us. I'm guessing that's the Kansas or Missouri delegation. Those look like Chief jerseys over there.
Yeah,
seriously, aren't they? I think those are Kansas City Chief jerseys. The Texas delegation has the cowboy hats on. We are sporting the cheese hats tonight.
I know, I love it.
It's really, really fun.
Tell everybody who just spoke. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was Jack Schlossberg. So he is the grandson of JFK, Caroline Schlossberg's son. And he spoke. He's a young guy.
He looks a little bit like John F. Kennedy Jr.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He really, really does. We're going to go through the rest of the lineup coming up here in just a second. But first, the guy who's going to read our roll call. They'll do the ceremonial roll call yet tonight. They will do that coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. And Ben Wickler broke some news when he told us who was going to be that read our little speech and kicked it off for Wisconsin. It's going to be our guy,
Tony Evers,
who's jazzed as hell to be here.
And we know what the walk-up music's going to be.
Jump around, right? Didn't he give that away?
Yeah.
I think he definitely hinted at that.
Somebody else told me that was that too behind.
That's going to be fun.
He told us. He said it on
How
here.
good's that going to be? So, Kristen Bry had the chance to talk to Tony Evers earlier today. Here's part of that conversation.
What are you looking forward to most? We're through day one, but looking forward to the next 3 days.
It's going to be hard to go over what happened. It's the moving of the torch from one generation to another. That was just extraordinary. The 3 women that talked about their reproductive rights and how it has impacted their lives. It was super. It's almost unbelievable that we can go over that. But tonight we're going to hear again from Kamala, and they're going to be in Milwaukee.
Do you have to book it back to Milwaukee and come back to Chicago, or do you get to stay?
I have to announce what our votes are on it.
Okay.
Somebody's going to do the hard work. And so it's going to be great. We're going to hear from what's going on back in Wisconsin, and the people that we're going to be talking tonight are just going to be super. The energy is just unbelievable. And I don't want to make too much of this because I always thought young people played a huge role in Democratic politics. It's different now.
Yeah.
It's different, which is great.
My last question.
Yeah.
Last month, when Biden stepped down,
Yeah.
I know you were pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Was last night pretty emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say?
That's all you have to say.
Christian Bride talking to Tony Evers. Always an emotional guy. He wears his heart in his sleeve all the time. I don't know if I dare say this or not, but I think they're running ahead of schedule.
No way.
Yeah, can you believe it? All right, so who's coming up tonight? During the 6 o'clock hour, we're going to hear from people who voted for Donald Trump last time who say they're not voting for him. And at the top of that list is Stephanie Grisham, former Donald Trump White House press secretary.
Yeah, White House press secretary and chief of staff for First Lady Melania Trump.
And you got information about what she's going to talk about.
I got an early release on some excerpts of what she's going to talk about. Well, she talked about how close she was with the Trump family. That's what she's going to talk about in her speech, Easter, Thanksgiving. Behind closed doors, she's going to really just lay it all out about what she feels about Donald Trump. She's going to say, here's one of the lines, Trump mocks his supporters and calls them, quote, basement dwellers.
Ooh.
She will also go into an interesting conversation that she says that she had with Melania during the January 6th incident.
Man, that's going to be
not good.
Rough to hear if you're a member of Donald Trump's inner circle. So we will hear from her later on tonight. And I'm just looking at this because I think we missed this because we're doing this live rate. Oh, we are. Okay. He did speak. So I was wondering all week what would happen with Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, the oldest living American president in the history of the presidency, the great love story with Rosalind, the Habitat for Humanity. He's very sick. He's in hospice in Georgia. And I wanted to know how they would handle talking about Jimmy Carter, a Democratic president, and Jason Carter, who's the one on social media who always gives the updates on how his grandpa's doing. The grandson spoke earlier today. So he was here. He spoke. You mentioned Jack Schlossberg. He is the grandson of JFK. He also spoke. Let's go through some of the rest of the rundown for who's going to speak tonight.
Okay.
Gary Peters, United States Senator from Michigan.
Yep,
he is going to speak as well tonight. Michigan, a very, very important state.
Yeah, I have his early release too. So he's going to be talking about the heartland, about how he was an Eagle Scout, that he went to a public school, raised in a union household. His father was a teacher, his mother was a nurse's aide. So he's going to be looking at the record as vice president of what Vice President Kamala Harris did, and then comparing it to Donald Trump and making some digs at J.D. Vance. That's all I'll say it's a little bit embargoed, so I can't read it all.
All right, it's about to get really loud in here. Warning,
So
Common
loud.
the rapper has walked onto the stage.
And he's from Chicago.
We heard him warm up, and he's about to go off, so bear with us. Common the rapper on the stage now, and then coming up later tonight during the 8 o'clock hour, first during the 7 o'clock hour will be the roll call. All the states will get up there, and they will formally pledge their delegates to Kamala Harris. That happens during the 7 o'clock hour. 8 o'clock hour, Chuck Schumer, the United States Senate Majority Leader, is scheduled to talk. Bernie Sanders, who has himself run for president, is scheduled to talk.
Schumer's an interesting one. It was Schumer and Pelosi who allegedly went to Biden's house. Yep. And Biden told Schumer, apparently, give me a week.
And then he got out.
Give me a week, yeah.
J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is scheduled to speak tonight. We'll also hear from the governor of New Mexico. During the 9 o'clock hour, we will hear from John Giles. He's the mayor of Mesa, Arizona, considered a rising star in the Democratic Party. Hometown hero Tammy Duckworth will speak, United States Senator from Illinois, during the 9 o'clock hour. And then also during the 9 o'clock hour, Doug Emhoff, that is Kamala's husband, scheduled to speak, the second gentleman. Michelle Obama will speak at the end of the 9 o'clock hour. Jonathan McReynolds now singing along with Common rapping. Then during the 10 o'clock hour, Barack Obama is scheduled to be the only speaker in the 10 o'clock hour. The 44th President of the United States scheduled to speak beginning at 10 o'clock. So clearly this thing's probably going to go till, almost 11 o'clock again, and then there will be a prayer to end the whole thing. So a very full night here.
When I was on the floor, I got a little bit of a taste of what Doug Emhoff is going to talk about. I thought that they were going to say, like, their love life, personal stories, but apparently he's going to focus on what Democrats need to do in order to defeat former President Donald Trump.
Now, see, I want to hear him talk about their personal life. I was hoping he would humanize her.
No,
I just want to hear that.
He's going to emphasize it's crunch time, 77 days to the election.
Okay.
Do you want to hear about Michelle Obama, what she might be talking about? I was told by the Harris campaign she's expected to touch on Kamala's experience as a prosecutor and the values that make her qualified to serve as president, like her husband.
And then it wraps up with Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States. All right, we are back here tomorrow from 3 to 6. We hope you'll join us. Here's your business headlines on WTMJ.
Clarios International out of Glendale invest about $220 million to expand production of advanced batteries at plants in Europe. The privately held company said the project will boost its capacity by 50% in the region and create 150 jobs there. A plan advances to transform vacant city lots in Milwaukee into an outdoor art gallery, eco-friendly garden, community space, and potentially a mixed-use development. Milwaukee's Plan Commission on Monday approved rezoning for the project. Yummy Bones Barbecue opens August 20th at Crossroads Collective Food Hall on Milwaukee's east side. The Southern-style menu includes ribs, chicken, brisket, wings, and more. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?